Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Thursday, December 14th, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $, ORION or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got Thursday night football. We got the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Kickoff in about 15 minutes. There's a lot of injuries. We know that. No Justin Herbert, no Keenan Allen. Josh Jacobs is banged up, but he's going to try to give it a go. And not the most ideal situation with these two teams playing on this particular Thursday night. Both are 5-8. But I do think that the game is going to be a little bit better than people think. And it can't get any worse than last week's matchup on Thursday Night Football with the Patriots playing. So it is what it is. At least we don't have to see the Patriots. There's still going to be, options to be able to enjoy. And I got my guy Max Crosby on the thumb for the first time of the year. So I wanted to make sure that, I'm acknowledging my favorite players that are on these teams, even if the Raiders aren't must-see TV. I know one guy on their team that is, and it's this guy right here on the right, Max Crosby, and I found a perfect image that I wanted, and I wanted to kind of do Khalil Mack and Max Crosby because Khalil Mack is having a fantastic year, but a lot of the photos that I saw, they just didn't look good, and I couldn't format them. So we're going to go with Austin Eckler on the left, and then a Max Crosby on the right. And then we always have Devontae Adams and a few of the other players like Josh Jacobs in the bucket for future Raiders thumbnails. But I figured it was finally time to get a defensive player that's one of my favorites in the league on the thumb. And there we go. When you get a defensive player on the thumb, it must be a big deal. And we got Mr. 9'8", Max Crosby, 2 X's, baby. And don't be surprised if he gets 1, 2, 3 sack lunches and if he causes havoc on that side of the ball. Easton Stick, and then we got Aiden O'Connell. Not ideal, but it is what it is. And I don't have Keenan Allen in fantasy, which is really, really rough. I don't know how I'm going to be able to win the championship with all these injuries, but I'm hoping that if I do decide to put Justin Jefferson in, I'm still worried. I don't care if it's Nick Mullins. I don't care if it's Joshua Dobbs. Jetta wasn't even able to complete his first game back from the injury, and then he went to the hospital with that chest contusion. So you can be projected for 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 points, but I don't know. I'm very, very worried because, Jetta, if he plays the whole game, he could get 20 points in fantasy. He also could get injured and put up 2. So I'm very, very nervous against Chief Will Chief. It's best of 2 weeks. And then whoever wins between me and Chief Will Chief as a 1 seed for me, as a 4 seed for him, will play the winner of a best 2 weeks with Faux King money and Reflect. So Reflect is projected to have the most points in this first week. And I'm just hoping that I can utilize some of my superstar pieces. But I never thought, when it comes playoff time, that Patrick Mahomes wouldn't be an option. Justin Jefferson and Keenan Allen are not really an option. And I'm just sitting here trying to scramble the best that I can. And a lot of my matchups are red. So we'll see if I can end up battling that out. But I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. John in the building, what's good? Sarah in the building, what's good? Pizzle in the building, what's good? Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. Reflect in the building, what's good? Megan with a 10er. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. 90 to go to hit the initial goal. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $10 holla. Let me know what you want to see for photos. If you want some Seahawks, since we're doing the NFL broadcast tonight. If you want Kraken, I can throw Kraken photos up as well. You let me know. And I really do appreciate you. You've been holding it down. And we need more people to be like Megan. And hopefully we can end up hitting a good number. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. I'm liking the white helmets with the white jerseys. The Chargers look very, very clean with that shade of blue with the yellow. They're all whites. They look fire. And then I assume that the Raiders are going to come out in all black. Let me take a look once they show the full fit here, or are we going to go with like silver pants? What's the look that we got with the Raiders? But the Chargers look very, very clean. Staley needs to be fired. We already know that. I mean, if there was one guy that's on the hot seat that needs to be fired, it's definitely him. But honestly, it doesn't matter who you bring in at head coach, right? It looks like they have the silver pants. So they got the traditional look, not black on black, on white, which would have been fire. But this traditional look for the Raiders with the silver and black looks fire. Devontae Adams, Max Crosby are in, and they have a couple guys that are out. Josh Jacobs not really feeling too good, but we will see what happens. I'm ready. Let's go, baby. Yes, appreciate you. $10 hairs. Let's get to a hundo. I mean, I can do Kraken stuff. It doesn't really matter what the stream I do. I mean, we'll do whatever it takes. So nice little dono train that we're getting here. I like that. Reflect. There we go with a tenner. Maybe we can get Pizzle to donate one day to the channel. Maybe that'll be the next step. One day, 10 years from now, maybe he'll show some love and donate to the channel and show some love to NWSF. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Reflect with a tenner. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let me know what you want to do for photos. I see you, projected for the highest amount, obviously, in the league. And all of our teams, all four, have significant injuries, either in the starting lineup or on the bench. So we'll see what happens, but I'm not as confident as I was during the regular season, especially when I can't use Patrick Mahomes. I can't use Keenan Allen. I can't really use Justin Jefferson with confidence. So we'll see where it goes, but hopefully I end up playing you in the championship. But Chief has got the number one quarterback, Josh Allen, number one running back in Christian McCaffrey. And as we know, when those two guys play well, they can put up 60 to 80 points. And if you get 60 to 80 out of two guys, chances are you're probably going to win. So Reflect, I appreciate you very, very much. Shout out to Reflect. Shout out to Megan. Boom, boom, boom. $20 holla. Let's go. Repping on the channel, and I appreciate that. Like I said, set the example, set the standard, right? The bar is a certain reason why it is the way that it is. We set it, we set it on a higher level. We don't have just a couple subs here. We've been doing this for a long, long time. Bang, bang. $20 holla. Appreciate you. I'll be flowing photos here left and right. Reflect is like, hey, I'll match that too. I can do that. Seahawks in the building. Who says that they can't donate heavy and show love? But also what I'm more proud about is just to be able to have a good friendship with the two of you. That's the most important thing. Now, do donos matter? Yes, of course they do. I'm not stupid, like subs, views, comments, shares, donos, it all matters. But it's always nice when you get, the regulars who end up being maybe, fans at first, and then it ends up being friends, and then you end up being extended family. And I really do appreciate the two of you. Thank you so much. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Seahawks in the building, donating and repping. I appreciate that. Bang, bang. Let's go. Let's go. Megan with another tenner. Let's go. Raiders. Reflect says $10. Let's go. Chargers. Bang, bang. Thank you. I don't know if we've had anything like this happen in a long, long time. And it shows it doesn't matter if you have hundreds of people in the room or just a few. If you have people that love you and care about you and want you to win, they'll make the effort to get it done if they have the finances to do so. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. A dono train between two people, and I love it. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. We haven't had something like that in a minute. When you just look up in the chat and you see dono, all those donos before the game even started. Thank you so much. You guys mean the world to me, and I will never, ever forget your guys' generosity, especially once we get bigger and we get a little bit more recognition. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, 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 bang. Thank you so much. $10 holla. Yeah, I'm not playing Keenan Allen. Yeah, of course I'm not going to play Keenan. I was already reading up on Keenan Allen, all week, and I already figured that he was going to not be able to make it and play. But the thing is yeah, I went wide receiver heavy and I got Jay Jetta, but I don't have any confidence in him. He's the 5th ranked receiver based on these quote unquote experts, right? He didn't even finish the last game after being injured for 2 months. What in the hell makes me think that Justin Jefferson with Dobbs or Nick Mullins can actually get the projected, what is it? What is he projected for? Something ridiculous. 18.9. I mean, I might have to just throw him in there and hope that he plays the whole game and doesn't get hurt. But I'm not really, I mean, I could do Najee Harris. I could do Devin Singletary. I could go Deontay Johnson or James Conner in a bad matchup. But I don't know. I'm just not really sitting in a very good spot. And then on top of that, Mike Evans put up a 1 last week, and now they have to go to at Green Bay. So he's projected for 15. What happens if he gets another 1 or a 2 and Baker can't get him the ball? I mean, I might be screwed with getting a 0 out of Mike Evans and a 0 out of Justin Jefferson. And if that happens, I'm not going to be able to catch up. Maybe it's best of 2 weeks. So we will see what happens. But I appreciate you guys very, very much. Let me know what you guys want to do for donos. $10 dono, matching $10 dono, $20 dono, matching $20 dono, $10 dono, another $10 matching dono. That's just a beautiful thing. Thank you guys so much. There's certain, times where I feel like unloved and underappreciated, but today is not one of those days. And even it makes it even more impressive, that we don't need to have a lot of people, but it shows you, we do need people, but we need the right people to be a part of the stream. So big facts. Let's go, baby. Yeah, and they say he's probably gonna play, but I mean, look, I have Sam Howell starting. Everyone else in the playoffs has got Josh Allen, CJ Stroud, or Trevor Lawrence, or Jalen Hurts, and here's me fucking coming in with the first place, in the regular season, and I got fucking Sam Howell, which he has actually been pretty good, so I can't complain. He has been getting 17 to 25 points week in and week out. But some games, he doesn't even get a touchdown in the air. Luckily, he got 2 on the ground last week to get to, 19. And then he had 1 on the ground the week before to get to 17. So I just got to pray to the sports gods that if he doesn't score throwing the ball, hopefully he gets in with running the ball. Otherwise, I may be screwed. And the injuries have piled up too much for me, at this point. 11-3, first place. And then we got 3 people that are 10-4. This is the best league that the NWSF has ever had. I have never seen an 11-3 and 3 10-4s and have the playoffs be decided 2 weeks before the regular season ended for, the playoff positioning. So we definitely got some smarter people that have hit really well. And I'm very excited to see if I can overcome the odds and not really be able to play my number 1 quarterback, my number 1 tight end, my number 1 pick, Justin Jefferson. And if I can find a way to win the championship without playing Mahomes, Jay Jetta, Keenan Allen, or Mark Andrews, I hella deserve it. I mean, how many else could actually build up a squad good enough to even compete with not having guys like that to be able to go to on a week in, week out basis? That's big facts. All right, baby. Matt in the building. What's good? What would the Seahawk super fans in the room, what would you guys like for photos? I can do Kraken too, whatever you like. So I'll wait for you guys to type in whatever you want, and I'll just occasionally throw in a few Seahawk photos for y'all, and then you can let me know what you guys want. Appreciate the 2 of you very, very much. I wish we had more people like you two. I really do. We've had some in the past. Some have come, some have gone, some will come back. But I appreciate you guys very, very much. Hit you with at least a couple DKs to get it started. And also, too, when you get to the fantasy playoffs, a lot of it is luck, and matchups where, it's not like when you do your draft, you're looking all the way to see what the matchups would be at the end of the year. If you're in the playoffs, you're not thinking that far ahead. Even me. When I draft, I don't look at the full schedule thinking, oh, this is a terrible matchup for this receiver in week 15. I better not pick him. That said no one ever, So hopefully I can hang around and be respectable and reflect in the championship. Big facts. Pete and Hack. Okay, I got you. Let's go, baby. That's because they say he's been building it through these 5 years, running the scout team, going up against the Chargers' first-team defense. Austin Ekeler told me he calls him Dr. Stick because he says Stick is surgical in practice with his ball placement, making superstar throws. Appreciate the two of y'all.
Daily, his moment has finally arrived, and there's Justin Herbert, who's been an Iron Man since he was drafted back in 2020, but he'll miss the rest of the season. Broken finger. There are the standings in the.
And I'll get you a few more once I get those ones moved around, and then we'll get some Kraken stuff up for you guys as well. Raiders with the kickoff to the Chargers, and here we go. The battle of the bads, 5-8 versus 5-8. Let's go. And this one's going to be a hell of a lot better than the matchup that we saw last week with the New England Patriots when we ended up doing the Kraken game instead. So that one actually ended up being better than we thought, but this one will be pretty good, I feel. Now, it would have been much better if Herbert and Keenan Allen were out there. I know a lot of us are hurting in fantasy in the playoffs tremendously, and yeah, I mean, it's like I feel really blessed that I went wide receiver heavy, in the draft, and obviously I needed to because Justin Jefferson got hurt right away in the first month, but I did not expect not being able to have trust in Jay Jetta late and no Keenan Allen. This one really fucking hurts. Handoff, Ekeler, short game. And hopefully we don't get a lot of these like we did in the Cowboys and Seahawks game. It seems like we haven't had penalties like that since that game, but we'll find out. All right, Ekeler, I see you. And we'll get some Kraken photos up here and some more Seahawk photos for the two of you, past and present. I'll just go through a bunch of options that I have for you guys. I want that too, because we don't even know who Faux King Money is. Like, we don't even know if they're a regular on the channel. We don't even know who they are. You know what I mean? Are they on the channel regularly? Do they donate? Do they watch our channel? Do they watch reaction videos? Do they spy on us on Twitter? Like, we don't even know who that is. Like, there's always going to be one or two people that are kind of like scragglers where we don't even really know who they are, but we invited them into the league. So tipped and complete. You only have 6 players from your draft class. Finley in the building. What's good, Finley? I missed you. Yeah, if we can get anybody to help out on the Twitter side for likes and shares, it'll be greatly appreciated. Cyberpunk just did. So that'll help us there. And also Sarah did as well with the like and the share. And if we can get five likes and 5 shares on there, that'll definitely help us. That's kind of the goal on every stream. We can typically get like 2 or 3 out of the people that are in the room, but if we can get 1 or 2 more people to do it and get it to like 5, either just someone on my friends list or someone from your friends list, and we can get 5 likes and 5 retweets on every live stream broadcast that's live, that'll help us out tremendously. Flag on the play.
To make the fair catch, and that'll cost him. Ronald Torbert is the referee tonight.
I'm squeezing. Fair catch interference. Squeezing one more Lockett. Love him. One of the most underrated wide receivers in the entire NFL, and has been for many, many years. And I've said that for a long, long time.
sacked 7 times in the game, 6 times by that man, Khalil Mack. This is a nightmare.
I'll have to look at my fantasy to see how many I have that, because I've made the most moves, like doubled the moves of everyone else just to get that one extra win. But imagine if I didn't. Imagine if I just, was kind of being lazy about it. There's no way I would have made the playoffs, or if I would have been like a 4, where Chief is. But I don't even know if I would have been able to get to 10 wins like the other 3 of you, Fo King, Reflect, and Chief, because, I'm sitting pretty good. But let's see. Rashad White, Montgomery 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I only have 8 pieces as well. I only have 8 of my original for my draft class, but some are injured or not usable. Going long, going deep, and complete. So my original ones are Rashad White, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans, Justin Jefferson, Patrick Mahomes, Keenan Allen, all studs, right? And then Mark Andrews. But obviously Andrews is on IR, and if I win the championship, I want him to be on the roster. I'm not going to let him go even if he's not coming back. I drafted him. He's a part of the team, and I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at today without Mark Andrews, even though he got hurt. So, and I would have feel a hell of a lot better if I had Mark Andrews right now too. It's like Reflect not having Travis Kelce. You got to have another guy. But even with Sam Laporta, he's not guaranteed to get me 10 points every week. Like last week, he only gave me a couple. So, if Laporta or the Lions in general shit the bed, I'm screwed. So. What's up, brother? Hello?
Only a 3rd down back, stays in there right now, 1st down.
My Charger buddy was just calling me.
Last year, wanted to reunite with Derek Carr, that lasted 1 year. Tough season for him right now. Yeah, sure. He's been frustrated at times for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I definitely lucked out there. Hurts, Hall, Kelce, Barkley, Waddle. Those are nice, man. Me too. And it shows you, and the way that you did the roster. And you know what? I ended up, picking up. I had Najee, and then I dropped him, and I picked him back up because I had a weird feeling Chief was going to need running backs. Soon as I end up picking him up, 30 seconds later, he picked up a running back. Like I had that ESP that he was already looking on there. So thank you so much, man. I'll get you some more photos when you have time to come chill with us. So appreciate you, man.
Rolling coverage towards him. Of course, he's had a brilliant career. One thing about him is they give him so much freedom in the line of scrimmage and with his routes to try to find the leverage of the defense and work the other way. 32, throw off. Nice run here. Give it to Abdul again. Another 1st down. Where that is Eric Kendricks makes the tackle for the truck. This offensive line, we've been wondering what's 70 in the right guard. Van Rock does a nice job. He just kind of shows it's a draw here.
Yeah, baby. You know it. James in the building. What's good? Just got to get that defense going, man. I got Amon-Ra, I got Sam Laporta, and David Montgomery. So if I want to continue being the best in the league with an 11-3 record and win the championship, I need Goff to start playing better. But what I did end up doing some research today, little handoff there. Goff plays much better inside than outside, and I believe the next 3 games for him are going to be indoors. So that means that there's going to be a higher chance of him hitting 17 points in fantasy or higher. And if that's the case, that's going to do really good for me with Laporta, Amon-Ra, and obviously David Montgomery if the Lions can figure out those woes that they have on defense. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt. Well, you got to prove yourself that you're going to be able to be Joel Klatt. I can be Joel Klatt and Gus Johnson, but we first got to figure out if you can talk on the microphone, and you obviously have the knowledge, but also being able to, do the microphone skills and whatnot. Not everyone can do it, but we will find out. Remember, job, right? Better internet, whatever, the Hawaiian Telecom or whatever it may be, the best one that has the best speeds, iMac or some kind of computer, microphone, and then boom shakalaka. There we go. But I think you would do fine, like I said, because I'll be doing a majority of the play-by-play in color, and you can react and fill in. And you have a lot of knowledge, on the college football side, probably more than anybody in the room besides maybe me or Sarah, and maybe like Reflect and a few other people. But I mean, as far as like deep diving in college football, I mean, sometimes you'll even dive deeper than me on certain subjects, like route running and things like that. But I think it would be good because you're going to be showing up every Duck game I do anyways. So you might as well just hang out and, if you get the proper equipment and whatnot. Davante Adams, who I'm going against in fantasy. First down, Raiders. I'll get some more photos up for the Seahawks here and Megan and Reflect, even if he's out of the room. CJ Gardner-Johnson, I saw that. That's going to help tremendously because we already know the defense for the Lions has been not good. To lose on Thanksgiving, to the Packers was unexcusable. But again, Love actually played well. Their defense played well, and that was the difference. So the Lions offense, we don't really worry about them. We know they're fun to watch. Gibbs, awesome, right? Montgomery, a bruiser, awesome. Laporta, the best up-and-coming tight end we've seen in years. Amon-Ra St. Brown, top 5 wide receiver, top 6. So it's like, Goff sometimes plays great, like a top 10 quarterback, but sometimes he plays like a bottom 10 quarterback. And that's the problem. You can't be throwing picks, fumbling the ball, and then on top of that, not scoring enough for your team and then having the defense not do their job. So if the Lions want to win a playoff game or, overachieve and win a couple, they're going to have to really turn it up on the defensive side of the ball. But I'm not sure if they have the personnel to do it. You got the Eagles, you got the Niners, you got the Cowboys, and then you would assume the next team in line would be the Lions. But with no defense that's consistent, it makes me nervous. I root for you guys all the time. And there's a reason why I got 3 Lions on the roster, and I'm starting all of them because I believe in them. But there's one thing I don't really believe in is that defense. I don't believe in it. I do like Aiden Hutchinson, and there's a few pieces like Branch that I like, but you guys are just not consistent right now, and hopefully that will improve. And you got to be able to draft some more guys on that side of the ball as well. First down, Raiders. Yeah, well, if you don't have a lot of knowledge on the American sports, you got a lot more knowledge on cricket and rugby, and you still got the Seahawk, for the American football. You got a little bit of Mariners, and plus, if you come on this channel, you'll be able to learn more and more and more, based on the things that we do here. So, I think that progressively you're going to be getting smarter and smarter, covering everything, even doing fantasy. Touchdown, Raiders. There we go. And hockey. You got hockey down too. And Josh Jacobs being injured, they were trying to get him to play, and they were saying game time decision, but that pretty much meant that he wasn't playing. But they wanted the Chargers, scheme and defense to think up to the last minute. Josh Jacobs is playing, even if he's hurt. But I had a feeling that they were gonna either sit him altogether, or he will play, but he'll only play a little. So $20 to go. But yeah, I would say your hockey knowledge is on point. Your Seahawk knowledge is on point. Your cricket and rugby knowledge is going to be better than everyone else on the channel, unless you live in New Zealand or in Australia, which we do have fans from both of those places. Extra point is up for Carlson, and it's good. 7-0 Raiders. Let's go. All right, let's get some more photos up for Megan. All right, before I get into the Kraken photos, let me get a couple more Seahawk ones for you. And we'll get some more for Reflect when he comes back, if he comes back tonight or in the future. But again, if you just copy what the top guys do or girls do in the league, and you kind of get a sense of who's good, and it changes from year to year. Just because a guy is good one year in fantasy doesn't mean he's going to be good the next year, specifically running back. A lot of running backs have amazing seasons, and then all of a sudden they, get injured or they don't have a season as good as they did. So hit you with a few Zorns there. I got to hit you with the Steve.
The roof will be open for the second half. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. What do you think of the new album cover? I like it. No, I think that could work. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Oh, or we could try something like that.
And then we'll go Kraken here real quick, see if we can squeeze a couple in. Your boy has to work quickly. You have to be a wizard, on the computer. You really have to know how to work fast to be able to make things effective, especially if you're fully producing the show on the fly like I do. A lot of people, they just hit, start stream and that's it. When you're actually clicking buttons, throughout the whole stream and you don't really get a chance to relax that much, that's when you know that you got someone that is, understanding the importance of grinding it out. I think I like Hack with clean shaven. I think clean shaven Hack looks more dapper and it looks like not that he looks bad with the goatee, but you look him in at the goatee as a coach, and then you're like, oh, okay. He's got that kind of mystique about him when he's got the clean shaven look, a different type of swag, or as the younger generation would say, Riz. All right. The Riz God, Hack Attack. I see you. All right, Chargers, your turn. Oh, of course. Yeah, I got you. I got photos of everything. I was born in the 80s, so obviously Barry Sanders is going to be like my favorite, as far as like running backs back in the day. I know a lot of Cowboy fans like Emmett, but again, for me, my all-time favorite five growing up as a kid: Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Barry Sanders, Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, hands down. It's not even close. I'll hook you up. Stick running for his life. I got to hit you with the proper logo.
His first career start, even though he's been in the league for 5 years, you can see if his primary is not there, there comes the rush, and now you've got to be able to improvise. And instead of throwing it away,
there you go.
He keeps his eyes upfield and finds the tight end effort who's blocking and ends up releasing.
I'll give you one more because I'm a nice guy. Nice tackle. I got to give you the white jersey, and I'll give you the dark jersey. I'll get a better one, though. That one came out too blurry. Maybe one. Let's see if I can find a better one.
As a freshman, when I really needed it, and I'll never forget that. And it's cool that it impacts him all these years later.
Ball's loose. Raiders with the turnover. Swag. Raiders. I got you, man. All right, no worries. But it shows you, like, no matter how good your quarterback, 2 running backs, wide receivers, 3 or 4 of them, tight end, offensive line, Ragnow, Penei Sewell, if you don't have a defense, and yeah, you got Aiden Hutchinson, but if you don't have, a very strong 8 pieces out of 11 or more, you're not going to be able to keep up with some of the upper echelon teams. You will get beat, you will get blown out, and you will look bad from time to time. So if I was the Lions in the next 5 years with Dan Campbell, I would just be beefing up that D-line, the linebacking core, and the secondary. And once you can get that defense to be like a top 10, then you'll have a top 10 offense, top 10 defense. That's when the Lions will overachieve and make the NFC Championship game or possibly the Super Bowl. But that defense isn't good enough yet, but they are very fun to watch, at least when they're not getting their ass kicked on the defensive side. I don't like seeing the Lions get beat up, but sometimes you got to get exposed to understand what you need to improve to get better. So O-line, D-line, it's all important. Khalil Mack, 32 years old, playing like he's 22. 7-0 Raiders. O'Connell, back shoulder, incomplete.
Davis, a starter, bench, starter again tonight. Involved in a lot of the action already. 3rd down and 8. Yeah, people go after him. He's having a few words there with Adams. Adams was working the official. He's saying, you got to beat me. And one thing about Davis, he's got the length to be able to try to stay with him.
Yeah, and like I said, I've always rooted for the Lions. As a little kid, I always kind of like the lovable loser. I was in that category, being a Buck fan for years when they were terrible. Lucky enough that I ended up, getting Sapp and Brooks, and we ended up getting a Super Bowl against the Raiders, right? But then, we went through a very dark time where we weren't really good from 2008 to 2019, like an 11 or 12 year stretch of dog shit. And then we ended up getting Brady and Gronk and Bruce Arians and AB, and we ended up winning. But that was so unexpected. I didn't know that was going to happen. And, sometimes, when you have that, type of team, you need the right pieces. And Dan Campbell, should be the coach of the Lions for as long as he wants to be there. And if that's another 10 or 15 years, then the Lions are going to be in good hands, because he's one of my favorite coaches in the league, and he was even before you guys started having success this year. Going long, going deep. Touchdown, Raiders. Wow. Aiden O'Connell, huh? I told you guys this game was going to be better than people thought. Chargers are injury prone. They have problems on defense. No Keenan Allen, so you would hope that someone could do something for the Chargers, but, even though the Raiders might be known as like a lower end team than the Chargers because people like hating on the Raiders, I find it really hard to believe that the Chargers are going to win this game. No Herbert, no Keenan Allen. How are you going to win? Unless Khalil Mack gets like 8 sack lunches, but I doubt that's going to happen this game. Secondary, absolutely terrible. I mean, they got names, Derwin James, Asante Samuel Jr., but obviously that don't matter when you're dysfunctional, and the Chargers are kind of a dysfunctional family. They get injured a lot, and they have the same things that happen year in and year out. Shitty coach, shitty play calling, offense and defense, shitty. And it's like you got Herbert, you got Eckler, you got Mike Williams, you got a lot of these pieces, but they never can stay healthy together. And now they're going to review it, maybe call it back. All right, let's get some more photos up. I mean, even if Megan and Reflect are gone, we'll continue the love.
Just place your bet, and the bonus bets instantly appear in your account, like magic. Like it's magic.
It's too much magic. It's too much magic.
This week, go for two. Bet $5, get $150 instantly in bonus bets, plus a no sweat same game parlay every single day. The crown is yours.
All right, what do we need? $20 to hit the goal. Hopefully we can get that before the stream ends. There's a good chance, I hope. A very generous back and forth dono train with both Hawk fans. God bless them.
Your holiday adventure awaits with a new hunt for a happy hunt. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local hunting dealer today.
100% agree. I mean, thinking that, the coaching's, positions and the coaches that they've had. I mean, you had Marty Schottenheimer. He went 14-2 and you fired him. So obviously you're dumb and you don't know what's good and what's not. And I already told people Anthony Lynn was trash and he was never going to be a head coach after that. And, he's not. And obviously with Staley, he's garbage too. I could tell as soon as I saw him out there, I was like, nope, this ain't it. Like, you need to be able to have someone like, Sean Payton. If Sean Payton was on the Chargers, he could turn it around like he's turning Denver around. But if you don't have someone that's like that, that's got like top 10 coaching skills, you're never going to turn around a team like the Chargers, unfortunately. That's my personal opinion. It's like you're going to need a real personality to turn that shit around. And then also, once you turn it around, then you got to be able to pray that a lot of the guys don't get hurt, and that happens every single year. So I don't know how you're able to reverse the juju, reverse the curse on all the injuries the Chargers have. But I swear to God, they are the most injury-prone team year in and year out for significant big-name players like of all time. I don't think I've ever seen a team that gets beat up like that more than them. Appreciate the Hawk fans showing love. Calling the field stands. Yeah. I was born in 82, James. So, even though I look young and whatnot, a lot of people think I'm in my late 20s or early 30s. I'm 41. So I've been watching since 85. I remember when they had Brian Blades, Bernie Blades, the brother. I'm all about that life. Dre Bly from back in the day, Lomas Brown, Herman Moore, Scotty Mitchell. I watched all kinds of games back in the day for your Lions. So it wasn't just about Barry Sanders and Herman Moore and Brett Perryman and Scotty Mitchell and fucking Lomas Brown on the line, which was really the only good one that you had. Dre Bly, and then a few of those other guys that you can sprinkle in here from time to time. You feel me? And I don't got no notes. Everything is off my brain. Like I said, I collected sports cards very heavily, and I have a steel trap brain, kind of like Sheldon in Big Bang Theory. It's like once it's in there forever. But Brian Blades and Benny Blades, that's some names for you.
They allowed 6 points all year on just opening drives. That's the best in the NFL. And they're down 14-0 with East instead.
14-0 Raiders. Favorite player on the team, Max Crosby, because I love the defense, baby. There you go. Yeah, plus we do everything here, basketball, baseball, football, hockey, wrestling, boxing, UFC, And I take a lot of pride in the streams that I do because I don't stream just to stream. I have to read up. I have to watch film. I have to know what's going on in the sport and wrestling world as an entirety. No one else has that dedication on YouTube. A lot of times they'll just do their favorite team, and that's what they do, or Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night games. But to really understand the league and know like who the GMs are, the coaches, the offensive coordinators, the defensive coordinators, the backups, and that's just on the NFL side. A lot of people don't have that passion to do that. And the more you know, the smarter you'll be. Facts. 14-0 Raiders. All right, Chargers, your turn. Kelly, short game. Fumble! God, this team is terrible. Staley, they're just trying to get his ass out of there. They're like, we don't like you. We're just going to fuck up. And the thing is like, they don't even need to try to fuck up. They're just going to fuck up. It's just kind of who they are. It sucks because they're probably the most talented, shitty team in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like year in and year out. Oh, even if they win 10 games, no one thinks they're going to do anything, kind of like the Cowboys, but even worse. But now the Cowboys feel like to me like they're actually going to win a game or two, And even though they ended up beating the Buccaneers, I didn't really count that as like a playoff win, I guess. It's not like the Bucs were good when you beat Brady. Like we were shitty and we barely got into the playoffs and you should have won. I want to see the Cowboys actually win a couple playoff games that are meaningful. And I think that they can do it this year because the rest of the NFC is kind of beat up like the Hawks or don't have a defense like the Lions. And those would be the two teams that probably give them the most problems. If depending on if the Eagles, Niners, have a bye or if the Cowboys have a bye, you know what I mean? But we'll see where it goes. But Niners, Cowboys, Eagles, and then below them, you got like the Lions and the Hawks. Nobody believes in the Falcons, Saints, or Bucs. Let's be honest, and that's about it. And then maybe the Packers trying to fight their way and get there, you know what I mean? But the Packers ain't going to beat no one. The Falcons, Saints, or Bucs are not going to beat anybody. The only teams that could beat the Niners, the Eagles, or the Cowboys are probably the Seahawks and the Lions, and that's it. Let's be honest. Can anybody else beat them? I don't think so. I mean, unless the Saints got like in the playoffs and all their guys were healthy and they played well, maybe the Saints could like fight a little bit. Same thing with the Falcons if they could have everything go right. But what are the chances of everything going right for the teams in the NFC South this year? I mean, we're the shittiest conference in the NFL. Saints, Bucs, Falcons, we're all trash. So unless the Seahawks can get healthy with Geno and company, and if the Lions can actually get a defense, then they can do it. But if not, they're going to fall victim to the Cowboys, Eagles, and Niners. So, yeah, Dre Bly. Yeah, that's why I mentioned him. Raiders. They just need better evaluators of talent. What are we at? 80? 20 to go? 14-0 Raiders. But even though Tampa's dog shit, you best believe when I play Green Bay 10 a.m. this weekend, I'm going to try to beat their ass. Oh, touchdown! Raiders, Jacoby Myers, 21-0. Man, I should have picked up Aiden in fantasy if I knew he was going to do this. Golly. Beating that ass. Aiden O'Connell already at 12. More than that now with that touchdown pass. If that one is all secured and it goes through. Wow. I can get more points out of Aiden in 2 quarters or a quarter, 1 quarter. I can get more points out of Aiden in 1 quarter than Patrick Mahomes in 8 quarters in 2 games. Golly. Yeah, but you've had bad luck, Sarah. So the moment that you make a move, right, Browning gets hurt and then Baker will throw up like a 25. And it's not like he's been terrible this year. I mean, he did put up 20 last game. So that's actually really good. Most quarterbacks can't even do that. 16, 18, 10, 22. So, 3 pretty good, weeks out of 4 in the beginning of the season. Then he hit a slide of 6 and 16. Then 21, 19, 18, a bad game of 10, 13 and 9. And then he got to 20. So, Baker sometimes will play bad, but it's not always his fault completely. Most of it is, but it all depends if they go to Mike Evans heavy or not. So, I mean, Staley has already been on the hot seat for like 2 years. He's fucking terrible. But the problem is if you don't bring in a guy like a Sean Payton, it don't matter who you bring in. They're going to fail too. Because you got to think they have no discipline. All their guys get hurt on offense and defense, superstars every year. Like, how are you going to turn this team around when they have the injury curse? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you can bring in even like a Sean Payton, but if all your guys continuously get hurt, I mean, what's the best that he's going to be able to get the team? 10 wins? You know what I mean? So.
Most common side effects include stomach pain, diarrhea, difficulty sleeping, back pain, and hot flashes. Ask your doctor about hormone-free.
I like your name, Matt, because you have 2 T's in your name. There you go. Matt, Joel Klatt. Double T, baby. Yeah, Hendon Hooker ain't good enough to be the quarterback for the Lions. And Jaden Daniels, Jared Goff has had some bad games, but when you don't have a good defense, you know what I mean? Of course, you're going to get exposed. Has there been games where Goff has looked like shit and the Goff offense has looked like shit? Of course. I would know. I got 3 guys in my fantasy lineup. I know when I do good, I dominate the league. When when the Lions play like shit, I got 3 guys in the lineup out of 9. So I think most Lions fans are sold on Jared Goff because if you get rid of Jared Goff, you're going to go in reverse. You're not going to get anything better than him. After that Stafford trade, Goff is the guy. He is the franchise quarterback. You don't need to listen to Cam Newton saying that all these other guys are game managers. A lot of these guys are better than Cam was. Cam had that one big year, you know what I mean? But, to say like Brock Purdy and Dak and some of these guys are just, they only can manage the game is very comical. Cam is just mad because he's not in the NFL and no one wants him anymore. And there's a reason why they don't want you anymore because they don't think you can do it. That's, and when you were at your peak, yes, 15-1, you went to the Super Bowl, but you always have one good year, one bad year, one good year, one bad year, just like Eli Manning. So if you have one good year, one bad year, that's why people don't know if you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, just like Eli, because you were never consistent. Go back and look at Cam Newton. 1 year in the playoffs, next year not in the playoffs. 1 year in the it was always like that. But when he was on in that MVP year, yes, he was absolutely like the best player in the NFL that year. But what about every year other than the MVP year? That's me. But again, he's just trying to get clicks and he's trying to get views, on his YouTube channel so he can make money. So, these former NFL players get hella petty and they like to be able to drive controversy because they're, I don't think Cam is broke. I assume he's got money, but, Yeah, Hendon Hooker ain't good enough to be the Lions quarterback though, and we'll see what he says on what he thinks. But I like that. Goff, Gibbs, Montgomery, Amon-Ra, Josh Reynolds, all those guys, Peoples-Jones, Laporta, Penei Sewell, right? Ragnow. You got plenty of guys. On the offense. The problem isn't the offense or the head coach. It's the defense. Getting someone to play with Aiden Hutchinson, making sure that D-line is better, right? Getting better linebackers and better secondary players. That's the problem. Fumble! God, Chargers are fumbling left and right. $2 holla. Thank you so much. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. But I had to pull a U-Reflect. I was like, okay, I need to block Chief. I was looking at his team, and I noticed that he had a bunch of injuries, at running back. So I was like, okay, he's going to be trying to pick one up. So I better grab Najee now, even if I don't play him, just to block him. And then literally 30 seconds later, he ended up picking up a running back on the wire. Like I had this weird ESP that if I didn't do it right now, that he was going to do it. And then as soon as I made the selection, then I saw his notification pop up right after mine. Like we were looking at the same thing at the same time, and I didn't even talk to him. So he's got Brian Robinson Jr., but he's questionable. And then he picked up Chandler, obviously, for Minnesota, and he already has Madison, who's out. Pacheco is out. That hurt him. And then Keaton Mitchell, he put on the bench. So I figured, okay, I have to turn into Reflect, and I got to go running back heavy and start blocking the shit out of him. So that way, because the last thing I want to do is leave someone on the wire, and then no one gives a shit about Najee, and he's had maybe 3 out of 4 games that have not been very good, 6, 7, 8 points. And then all of a sudden he picks up Najee puts up a 20, and then I lose. And then I won't be able to forgive myself. So love those RBs, baby. That's why, I don't know if I'm going to use them, but sometimes you do have to block. And that's what I did. So Sam Howell, Rashad White, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra, Mike Evans, Laporta, Jay Jetta, Dolphins D, Cairo Santos, and then Mahomes, Keenan Allen, Jets D, James Conner, Deontay Johnson, Devin Singletary, Najee Harris, and Mark Andrews. And some of these guys I probably wouldn't even have rostered, but I wanted to make moves. So that's why I picked up Najee, Singletary, Johnson this week, just in case I can't trust the wide receivers, which I can't. And, and then if I have to put in Deontay Johnson for Jay Jetta, I guess, but I guess Mitchell Trubisky doesn't really like Pickens. So I guess that was a good move on my part. But when it's the fantasy playoffs, it's risky. I could put in Devin Singletary since we know CJ Stroud is kind of banged up. But then what happens if Dameon Pierce gets a touchdown? So it's fuck, I don't know what to do. But I just wish my superstars were healthy so I could just sit it and forget it and then move on. But I have to really over-contemplate. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Jerry Tillery, the former Charger. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. Yeah, well, next year, if we're both in the league, well, and we're doing our thing, there probably won't be any running backs even available because you and me will have them all. Everyone will be bitching and complaining because we'll literally have 15 running backs between the two of us. And I wish I was lying about that, but yeah, I had to think about my depth, and I wanted to try to find another quarterback, but Sarah got Browning, and I can't play Mahomes. I don't trust him. Keenan Allen is hurt. Jets D, I'll play for the next 3 weeks because this is the last week the Dolphins play a weak opponent. James Conner has got the Niners, so I don't trust that, but he did have a good game against his former team. Deontay Johnson has scored in the last 2 games, but I don't know if I trust him. I guess I have a little bit of trust. Singletary has had 3 good games out of 4, so I do trust him. Actually he's had 4 out of 5. 23, 19, 13, 5, and 12 and a half. So I can trust him if I need to. And then Najee, I just wanted to pick him up just in case, something crazy didn't happen. But his last 4 games were 4, 15, 9, and 8, which isn't good. But knowing my luck, if Chief picked him up and started him just because of injuries, and then Najee puts up a 16 and I lose, I couldn't look at myself in the mirror knowing that I was looking at him. I should have picked him up and benched him to block him, but I didn't. And then I would have myself to blame. So I'm doing everything in my power to try to find a way to, get to the championship round, but it's going to be tough. I'm projected for the least amount out of everyone. Chief 130, Reflect 140, Faux King 128, and here's a little O-Dog with his beat up first place team at 125. So at least it's not that far behind, but to be 5 to 15 points behind projected, not good, but projections are projections. And then I don't like the fact that Evans has a tough matchup. He put up 1 last week, and then Jay Jetta, I don't trust him. So I got 2 guys in my starting lineup that I don't trust. So do I bench Mike Evans and Jay Jetta for Deontay Johnson and Devin Singletary? Do I have the balls to do that? Or do I just say, nope, Jay Jetta, Mike Evans. And then what happens if Mike Evans gets a 1 and Jetta gets a 4 and then I lose? So I don't know what to do, but it's either Deontay Johnson and Devin Singletary or Jay Jetta and Mike Evans, but I don't trust Mike Evans this week. I don't trust Jay Jetta, but do I just trust them because who they are? and I just pray that they play good, tough. I don't think anyone else is going through that type of strategy. So Bianca in the building. What's good? Yeah, well, Saints isn't a good fit, but maybe he'll find another team at some point, or they'll figure it out with a new head coach and a new coordinator. But him on the Saints, it doesn't feel like a good fit. But again, it's only the first year. We'll see. Yeah, but you also have to understand too, it's the head coach. Dennis Allen is a defensive coordinator. He's not a head coach. Carmichael's a terrible play caller. The offensive line hasn't been good until as of late. They've gotten a little bit better. Alvin Kamara, AK-41, was suspended for the first 3-4 games. He's been the most consistent piece, and then you had injuries to Michael Thomas, a little bit of Olave, Rashid Shaheed. A lot of them have gotten nicked up, banged up. Taysom Hill with the hand and the foot. The defense, can't be a top 5, top 10 defense for the whole year when they're doing 3 and out a lot. So, it's a combination of things. I thought that the Saints could have been like what the Lions were this year, but maybe you're going to have to wait till next year or the following year. So we'll find out. But sometimes it feels like Jameis or Taysom Hill could play better than Carr. But like I said, it's a number of, factors for the Saints fans why things aren't really going well. And with all that being said, the Saints could still win the NFC South, which they should. They should be the favored team. Saints, Falcons, and then my Buccaneers in third. So I don't want to make the playoffs this year. So 21-10 Raiders. But it also helps when you play a team like the Chargers that don't have a defense. So literally anybody can score points on them. They don't got Keenan Allen. They don't got, Justin Herbert. So it's like you already know that you got a backup quarterback in there that, doesn't really know what they're doing, that they can't really throw, right? And then you have a team that turns the ball over and fumbles a lot and obviously throws a lot of picks. Running backs fumble, wide receivers fumble. What can you say? I mean, the Chargers are like just that cursed team. They are the most cursed team in the NFL, and they have been for like the last 20 years. It's tough. It's like every great elite player they have is being wasted. Keenan Allen, Justin Jefferson, Austin Eckler, Derwin James, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Asante Samuel Jr. Everyone's just being wasted.
They fired Nick Lombardi, the offensive coordinator. So Hardigree was the quarterback's coach. He's been calling the plays from the field. He's now upstairs for the first time. I think he's going to stay there the way things are going.
But yeah, I benched Jetta and Dobbs because I didn't believe that they were going to be able to complete the full game, and they didn't. But it's like, what happens if Jetta, I put him in there and he doesn't play the full game? And it's like Nick Mullins is not Kirk Cousins. Like everyone realizes, like, the reason Jetta was so good is because Kirk Cousins was throwing to him, and Cousins was a top 12 quarterback. Even though people wanted to hate on him, you start to realize how good Kirk Cousins really is. Like when he's out there, yeah, sometimes he sucks in prime time. But if you look at his numbers, like touchdown to interception ratio, and you look at his career, he's actually a stud. It's just that you sometimes you need a lot of these quarterbacks to get hurt and then to see what else is out there. And then you start to realize, hey, maybe being the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th best quarterback out of 32 actually is a good thing. For all the haters that wanted to hate on Carr and Cousins and even Tannehill a couple of years ago. Tannehill was washed. Carr is not a good fit on the Saints, but Cousins still has, some game left in my opinion. So we'll see. That's why I'm thinking I might do Singletary, and Deontay Johnson has scored twice in the last 2 games. Pickens and Trubisky, as well as Pickett and Johnson, they have a better connection. Pickens is kind of like a baby. He doesn't get the ball and he starts pouting, and he throws his helmet off. He starts whining. Yes, we know you're a fantastic athlete. You could have 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns. We know it, right? But they don't throw you the ball. And then not only that, you get frustrated. You got people in your ear, your friends, talking you up, and then you get more frustrated, on the field. He doesn't have the right people in his corner, and, he's not getting the ball. So I guess for Deontay Johnson fantasy owners, that's good because he's going to be the number 1 target on, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, like, if anyone's scoring a touchdown, it's going to be him, Freiermuth, and then maybe Pickens, depending on how the flow of the game is going. So I might have to go Deontay Johnson and Devin Singletary over Jetta and Evans, because I don't like the Evans matchup. Because if it's Jair Alexander, and we haven't really played good. Last game, we played the Falcons. Evans only had 1 point. They didn't really get him the ball. It's like, he can get me 20 to 40 points, and then all of a sudden he puts up a 1. I can't afford that in the playoffs. I mean, at least it's best of 2 weeks, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't like the Mike Evans matchup, and I don't like playing. If I'm going to play Justin Jefferson, I needed to make sure that he played a full game last week, and then I feel good this week. And then if he shits the bed, that's on me, and that's on him. But since he didn't complete the first game back after a 2 months off, and then he had a chest injury, what makes me believe that he can do it? This is for the fantasy championships. Like, what I'm saying? I can't afford to get less than 10 points out of my receivers and my running backs. I need 10 points or more from every spot. So I can't put up a 4 or have him get hurt again. And that is really what makes me nervous. And then watch, if I bench Jetta and Evans and then they go off for like 50 combined and I lose, that could happen also. So, or they could combine for 5 points. That could happen too. I mean, like, what scenario happens? The hell if I know. But that's why I picked up Singletary in the middle of the night and Deontay Johnson, just in case that I needed to have an alternate option that I felt good about it. Because the wire is thin as hell right now. Yeah, but if Jair Alexander's guarding him and Anthony Lambeau, like, it's probably we're not going to beat the Packers more than likely. They're 6-7, we're 6-7. I would assume we're going to lose, And I guess if they decide to go to Evans heavy because they looked at the tape and noticed they didn't go to him last game, then that works out for me, and then I just got to pray that if they score a touchdown or two, Evans gets them, not Cade Otton or Chris Godwin. And I got Rachaad White also, so I need him to score also. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm very nervous. And it's like, just because he's a Bucs guy, and I'm a fan, doesn't mean I'm just going to be like, oh, everything's going to be fine. I mean, I have to look at it from a strategic, kind of personnel decision. I don't know. I mean, I guess flow of the game. I mean, the Packer defense has gotten a little bit better, but then all of a sudden they lost to the Giants. So it's like you beat the Lions and then you looked all amazing on Thanksgiving. It's like a Jekyll and Hyde for the Bucs and the Packers. Sometimes we look really good, and then other times we look like dog shit, 21-0 Raiders. Let me know what you want to do for photos. I can get you some Michael Penix Jr. if you want. We got 18 to go. Nothing on the Cash App yet, but I imagine we'll get something on there before the stream ends. Stick. I don't trust him, though. This is the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, would you trust him? Last 2 games have been good, but what about the 2 games prior? 4 and a 1. That's not good. And he hasn't proven that he can have more than 1 good game in a row besides these last 2. So what are the chances of him having 3 good games in a row? I have to look at it at a, plus minus situation, when I'm picking players for fantasy. It's like, and also it's like when you see a guy do double digits 4 times in a row, that's usually the cutoff. You're typically not going to get guys that do it more than 4 times in a row unless it's like an Amon-Ra St. Brown situation. So you also have to look at the secrets of fantasy, realizing that usually great players cap out in double-digit fantasy points in 4 games in a row, and they typically can't do it that 5th game for whatever reason, matchup or the game flow. So that is an option. Yeah, but this is the fantasy playoffs reflect. I mean, when I got big name guys like this, I mean, do I really want to have a lot of these unknowns, in there this late, especially if I leave something really good, big name on the bench, and then they hit, and then I put in, if I put in Spears and Spears puts up a 4 and then I lose by 3, I will never forgive myself. I might as well just quit playing fantasy for the rest of my life. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you put him in and he puts up a 17, then I could win based off that too. But it's just such, high risk, high reward, I guess.
Halfway mark of the season, but it doesn't come together for them.
No, I think you brought it up a little earlier. 5 losses. Think about how this season, how different it could be. You have 5 losses, like 3 points or less.
I mean, the last 2 games has been pretty good, but is it going to continue though?
Something, the ball bounces the wrong way, and they find themselves sitting here at 5 and 8. They could easily have 7 or 8 wins.
I don't know.
More gut-wrenching games than any team over the past.
Yeah, I mean, I might pick him up possibly, and just put him on my bench or whatever. I mean, maybe he has a better chance of going off than Najee or someone else. But I mean, I don't know. I'm very conflicted. McKinnon, yeah, White, yeah. All right, let me look at the running back rankings. Rachaad White is 6. That finally worked out for me. Montgomery is 22. Connor is 24. Najee's 28. Singletary's 31. Spears is 35. So he's a little bit lower by a couple spots, but I mean, it would be worth having him on my roster. But I mean, if I do, and then what does that mean? That I drop Najee or someone else? Like, I don't know, man. Najee is 28. But of course, Najee hasn't really been good in the last month. Jaylen Warren, his numbers have been down a little bit too. I just don't like to do a lot of unknowns, Stick and complete. Stick looks like he's playing football for the very first time because he is. Yeah. But knowing my luck, I swap Spears for Najee. Then Chief picks up Najee, and then Najee goes off for 20, and I lose. Then what? Like, fuck. I don't know, man. We'll see. Chargers with the punt. It's bullshit though. If I make the championship against you, Reflect, the same thing is going to happen to me like it did last year. 8 out of my 9 starting, right, are all red. Again, it's like I can never catch a break, dude. Anytime I end up making the championship where I'm playing for third, it's like red, neutral, red. I literally have 1 green. The kicker. Fuck. And then the actual championship week, that I would have to come back from that championship first week. I still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red. Sometimes you just can't catch a break, I guess. I would hope so, but Yeah, for Amon-Ra, it's neutral. Montgomery, it's neutral. Laporta, it's neutral. So it's not really like great. And then at the end of the year, it's red, neutral, and then neutral. So I don't really get the benefit of having a bunch of green ever typically. So like this week, I have the most green. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 green, 3 red, and then 2 neutral, and then 3 reds on the bench. So, and just because you have red doesn't mean that you can't hit, but it definitely makes it a lot fucking harder. Yeah, I did see Florida's schedule. 10 more likes to get to 20. All right, I'm going to get some Michael Penix Jr. photos here for Reflect real quick. See if I can squeeze like 1 in or 2. Can we get the college bowl games going? Man, I'm itching. I'm already itching already, and pretty soon everything is going to be over. I'm like kind of sad. There's not a lot of people that I feel that love college football as much as me. Obviously, Reflect, you love it. Sarah loves it. Matt loves it. But I think a majority of our fan base does not love it as much as us. Like I'm obsessed with it. Sometimes I like it even better than the NFL, honestly. It just depends on the matchup and what we got going on. Do I play Reed or Rice? It should be DeAndre. That would make it a lot easier. Yeah. Someone that is a better player that you trust that's going to get the targets. And, then you get these guys that are kind of newer names and you just have to go with who's been hot lately or whatever your gut tells you, and sometimes you have to go with that or the matchup and whatnot. But I can't even play Patrick Mahomes, man. If I do, the only game I can play him is the last game for the championship if I'm there and they play the Chargers. Like the one team that Patrick can actually play against, where he can get 30 to 40 points. But other than that, that's the only team that he's been able to do anything good against in the last 10 weeks. So yeah, that's why recruiting is so important. Yeah, but if I can win the fantasy championship with fucking Sam Howell, that's pretty big. When everyone else has Jalen Hurts or fucking CJ Stroud and Trevor Lawrence or Josh Allen, I'm sitting in kind of the, probably worst position. But again, Howell has been pretty good. He's the 7th ranked quarterback and he's been consistent. So, 30, 17, 24, 17, 17, 19. How many quarterbacks can say that? He's been pretty fucking good. He's only had one disaster game. That was week 3 against Buffalo with 0.6 with 4 picks. But other than that, 15, 21, 19, 25, 18, 10, 30, 17, 24, 17, 17, 19. And it's almost impossible to get 20 points in fantasy nowadays. So 17 to 19 is good enough for me. 17 is the new 20. Uh-oh, fumble. Another turnover. Do the Chargers even want to play? This is embarrassing. Jesus Christ. Staley's getting fired tonight at halftime. They're just dropping the ball on purpose now. What an idiot. My friend Joey is a big Charger fan too. Exactly, and I'm going against Adams. So I was like, fuck, I hope he doesn't go off. But I felt that they were going to distribute it evenly. Three turnovers. Unmotivated. Everyone was bitching about New England and Pittsburgh. But at least there's better players. But God, the Chargers, man, booty. But he was already going to be fired. You know what I mean? But again, it's like they need a lot more than just a head coach. Like, let's say Belichick gets fired or they move on. He goes to the Chargers, right? He would be able to help that defense get right, but you're still going to have the injury curse. You know what I mean? And then you would have to have like Josh McDaniels be like the OC and then to get that shit turned around. But that would probably be the best destination for Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick to reunite and go somewhere else and then actually try to turn that team around, which I think they could, you know, if they had enough time and if they had the right pieces in place. But the one thing that they wouldn't be able to control is the injuries. They would still happen, you know, to Herbert, to Eckler, to Keenan Allen, to Mike Williams, you know, to everyone, to Joshua Kelly, Derwin James, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Asante Samuel Jr. Like everyone's still going to get hurt, you know.
Millions of data points from every game. They power simulations of any play, any condition, with any player. And by capturing,
and at least the Oregon State-Oregon rivalry will continue. But I mean, like I said, the Chargers have like some of the best talent where they have Hall of Fame players. Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, you know, Asante Samuel Jr. and Derwin James are nice, right? Keenan Allen, Hall of Fame. Herbert, maybe, you know, down the road, we'll see if he goes to a new team or whatever. But like right now on the offense, you know, Eckler has been pretty good, but I don't know if I would say Hall of Fame, you know, but Herbert's been good. Eckler has been good. Keenan Allen, first ballot Hall of Fame. You know, Khalil Mack looked like he'll be a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? Joey Bosa, if he can stop getting injured, you know, but it's like Joey Bosa's like that guy that when he's on the field, yeah, he's one of the best 10 defensive players in the world, but he's never on the field. You know, he's just never out there. So, I mean, you're not really helping your team when you're sitting on the sidelines. So,
46% more air refill. So what are you waiting for? Start using Rogaine today.
Holidays can be chaotic. Streaming doesn't have to be with Prime Video. From family to new favorites. Come on, find your holiday happy place.
So the Chargers
stud right there.
First one right here, Coots. Sack fumble recovered. Fumble covered by Las Vegas. And just moments ago on the punt return. Setting up short field right second and 70 on count. Curry walked off like there's no foul.
Let's go.
Plus 31, both of those touchdowns, and now they're starting here to plus 14.
Second and 7.
Play action fake. Wide open. Touchdown. Raiders. Chargers look like a fucking freshman team, and they're going against an NFL team. That's embarrassing. Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. I mean, they obviously, you know, one team is inspired. One team does, you know, like Staley, you're gone, bro. You should have been fired last year. You're terrible. But it's like not all his fault because, again, you know, you need to be able to have guys that don't get injured. But obviously this team has quit not only on themselves, on their fan base, on their, you know, families, but their head coach. They quit on everything. Extra point is up, and it's good. 28-0. And it's the Raiders. Raiders. It's not like we're looking at like a New England team with Brady and Gronk. I mean, it's the fucking Raiders.
Jordan, Nike, Hoka, On, Adidas, Crocs, and the latest apparel from all the best brands. Plus, must-have gifts from Getty, Stanley, Callaway, and TaylorMade. Download the Dick's app now.
I'm going to go get a drink here real quick.
For fast option. And with our best price guarantee, if you find the lowest price, we'll match it. This season, give the gift of sport. Every holiday starts at Dick's.
Pete O'Connell tonight. Getting the start after getting shut out last week. Adams making that grab. We got Mayer right there. Get on the mark. 9 of 17, 134. He's thrown for 3 touchdowns. Beautiful grab right there. Then we have the pocket. Gave his lead more wide open. So, I mean, the Chargers, I mean, this is kind of crazy. You draw inspiration from the fact you go up and say, hey, we had a 27-0 lead
All right, I'm back.
last year.
What's the score now? 42-0? Did I miss 2 more fumbles? It's all good. You guys are going to get somebody to come through. There's already quite a few rumors and whatnot. But Washington will end up getting a quarterback. It won't be Michael Penix Jr., but you should be able to get someone to be respectable in the Big Ten with Oregon. Like, you might still be able to be better than USC, and UCLA. We just got to see, like, if you're going to be on the Oregon, Michigan, Ohio State level, or if you're going to be like one notch below with like Penn State and some of those other teams, which would actually still be really good considering who you may be losing. And maybe Oregon goes down a couple pegs too. We'll wait and see. But getting Dylan Gabriel was huge. We got a lefty of our own, and I'm excited about that. Next week, we got the Saints and the Rams. I actually like that matchup. Love it. I absolutely love it. He ain't Michael Penix Jr., but I watched a lot of his games. I saw the Red River shootout against Texas when he won. He's got poise. He's calm. He's cool. He's collected. He's a lefty. He likes to run, but he doesn't have to be a runner. And he's not as smooth with the football like Michael Penix Jr., but there is a smoothness about him. He kind of has a bigger frame like Tebow. So, he'll have that kind of Tebow, maneuverability where he can run over guys, but then, a little bit better touch than Tebow, but it's kind of like a combination of a couple different guys, being a lefty. But I absolutely love it. And we arguably got the best transfer so far signed on Oregon out of all the colleges so far. So, and we might get Dante Moore from UCLA also. So if we get him, then we'll have 2. So, yeah, but I like it a lot. I like it a lot. But every year, you're going to get someone new. There's so many college transfers that it's like, oh no, we're going to be bad. And then all of a sudden you get a guy that's thrown 40 touchdowns and 7 picks, from some small school like Mississippi State. And then all of a sudden they're your quarterback and maybe they do pretty good. Or you might get a kid from Indiana. And then all of a sudden you're like, he's pretty good. And then he comes to Washington. You're like, wow, he's really good. And then all of a sudden he plays another year and then it should have won the Heisman. So. But I don't want him to have that curse. I'd rather have them win the Natty. So I'll celebrate it as if Oregon won the Natty if Washington wins it all. Me and Reflect will chest bump. 28-0 Raiders. I mean, even if I had Keenan Allen and he played in this game, right, with Easton Stick, how many points am I getting? 10? 12. There's no 20 or 30 with Keenan Allen anymore. If Herbert's not playing, Easton Stick, all my big numbers out of Keenan Allen just disappeared. Now he's pretty much the same point total as maybe like a Deontay Johnson in a good game, where he gets like 14. That's kind of what I would be able to get. That sucks. That's really going to limit my chances of winning the championship against Chief O'Chief or Faux King or Reflect. So, but hopefully I can find a way to do it. Stick. Get rid of it. That was ugly. Max Crosby, that's my boy. First time on the thumb. Won't be the last time. I was like, ooh, I like this. I was trying to do a double up, Khalil Mack and Crosby. Sometimes I'll do like a double up. I'll do like Devin White and Demario Davis when it's like Bucks and Saints. Defensive players never get on thumbs. So I have to be the trendsetter to put them on there. It's always quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. At some point, you're going to see me put an offensive lineman on there. I'll go offensive lineman, or D lineman, linebacker, safety, something like that. 28-0. Is that close?
get on your home. Evaluate cost of living city by city and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So come explore the ultimate real estate website at coldwellbanker.com. Kiss me. Warning. Never swim alone. When we were fixing up the pool, they said it hadn't been used in 15 years. Warning. 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 Marco. And swim January 5th, rated PG-13.
God, I miss college football. 10, 11, 12, 13 games. That's not enough, man.
When I'm up here, I'm always going live. I'm always streaming to promote myself, and cricket helps me do all that with reliable service. Are we live?
But I'll be watching a lot of the bowl games.
Smart. You're on cricket.
Hi, you might know me from my other job, but I'm a business owner too. Here at Once Upon a Farm, we chose the new Capital One Venture X business card with no preset spending limit or purchasing power adapts to meet our business needs. Love it. And unlimited double miles means we earn more too. Sweet, right? And when we travel, we get access to over 1,300 airport lounges. If you get used to this, the Capital One Venture X business card. What's in your wallet?
Thursday Night Football on Prime. It's on. Football is on. Next week, Alvin Kamara and the Saints take on Matthew Stafford and Wentz. Stream Thursday Night Football on Prime. The NFL family committed to advancing social justice through work that reduces barriers to opportunity, just as players inspire change in their communities. Inspire change. Changemaker Award recognizes members who are working every day to advance social justice. You can learn more about each team's Changemaker at NFL.com/inspire change. From the 35-yard line. Happy night for the home crowd. Blanked on Sunday. 28 points tonight. 3-yard pickup here.
I got to be able to see like who's coming back for us and who's not, and kind of go from there. Padilla with $1, my boy. Appreciate you. I'd have to look at the schedule, and then obviously Matt already put it up there. Hawaii, that's a win. Idaho, that's a win. Boise State, that's a win. Oregon State, that's a win. UCLA is a win. Michigan State is a win going against Jonathan Smith. And Ohio State could be a loss, but we'll see. Purdue is a win. Illinois is a win. Michigan, win or lose. You know, Maryland is a win. Wisconsin is a win. And then we'll see where Washington stacks up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 10 or 11 wins with potential losses to, you know, Washington, Michigan, Ohio State. I would assume, you know, those will be the ones that'll be the hardest. So maybe 10 wins. Well, you know, and then if we beat Michigan or Ohio State or both, or, you know, however good we are, then, you know, it could be as 10 wins or as high as 12 or 13. But, you know, we got to still give Ohio State and Michigan some respect that, you know, it's their division for now until, until Oregon and Washington and USC start coming and UCLA. Padilla with $1. Appreciate you, brother. Let me know what you want to see for a photo. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $1. Holla. Appreciate you, bro. Let me know what you want to see. I got you. 17 to go. Doing good, man. Was hoping that the Chargers would put up a little bit more of a fight, but at least we're getting points, so it's exciting. It's not 3-0, you know, 28-0. You're getting, you know, some kind of action. It's lopsided, but now they're doing like trick plays. I'm doing good. How are you doing, bro?
And this just shows, I mean, you can tell pretty quickly he's in motion, the depth that he gets. But watch the far right and watch the effort here.
But I mean, if all the recruiting goes well, Hawaii, Idaho, Boise State, Oregon State, UCLA, Michigan State, Purdue, Illinois, Maryland, Wisconsin, Washington. I mean, we could win all those. And then again, Ohio State and Michigan would be 50-50. But depending on if we have injuries or, whatever happens, yeah, there's a potential losses against Washington or UCLA or like a Wisconsin. You never know. We'll have to kind of wait and see how it all plays out. But I would assume that we'll be winning every game except, 50-50 with Ohio State and Michigan. And I think we can beat them. I'm not afraid of them. So I don't think any Oregon fan is. We respect them, but we're not afraid of them. And hell, we went into the fucking shoe with no Kayvon Thibodeau and beat them. So if we can do that, we can do anything. So I think probably winning in the big house would be harder than winning at Ohio State. Winning it at Michigan would be harder than at Ohio State, in my opinion. Both fan bases are rabid, but I think the environment would be harder for Michigan. Uh-oh. Touchdown, Raiders. Someone's getting fired at halftime. Well, at least it wasn't Devontae Adams. Golly. 35? Aiden O'Connell with an 18 in the first half. I should have picked him up in fantasy and started him. That would have been too much of a risk. Jeff Hardy. Okay, I got you. Good choice. One of our mods, one of my youngest mods on the channel, 18 to 22 years old, just like Matt. His name's Elliot. He's one of our youngest mods, Padilla. He actually met Kevin Nash as a kid, has a photo of him and Jeff Hardy, believe it or not. I mean, if he's only 18 to 22, he met him when he was like 8 years old or something, but still has the photo.
There's a nice block on back into the edge. Now, really poor job by the Chargers, just not getting off of blocks. Davis right there, just kind of an Olay arm tackle. Bolt running pretty hard. These offenses without Josh Jacobs, you've seen a combination of Zamir White, Abdullah, and Bolt, all three of them getting their chances.
35-0? Golly.
Put yards up on the board, points on the board. Well, figure you're right. Without Josh Jacobs, their ace back, guy who led the league in rushing. You got White, you got Abdullah, and then you got Holden. Tunnel having a night. And Khalil Mack, goody Chargers. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? Tell me. You sound like they just look defeated.
I'm not into piling on a guy, but I knew Staley's, he was on a hot seat this season. Started trading right now on Twitter because of the way this game is going. So
Gang, gang, gang.
Trending on Twitter.
yeah, exactly.
Look at those belts.
Well, let's take a look at our next Gen
Young.
by AWS.
Appreciate you, bro.
Crosby has a tough assignment. See the pressures that Pickens has allowed, but zero so far tonight.
Well, it shows you it's the defense. It's not trying. Besides like a Khalil Mack. And offense. You don't have Herbert. You don't have Keenan Allen. Eckler is banged up. Mike Williams. Offensive line stinks. So it's like, what do you got? Nothing. Like, what do you have to go to? It's like offense stinks, defense stinks, coaching stinks, play calling stinks. Like, what is good for the Chargers? Like, what? Asante Samuel Jr.? That's literally the only thing good besides him and Khalil Mack. That's it. I mean, Derwin James is a good player. Joey Bosa is a good player, but they're not consistent, and they get hurt a lot. All right. Keenan Allen is amazing, but is he playing? No. Shows you like, this team sucks. When they had Justin Herbert. Now, without Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen, if you want to really have a definition of suck, I mean, you're looking at it.
Right after the play, just kind of steps over top of him, has a few words more official right there to hear it, see it, calls the penalty. Antonio Pierce and really Patrick Graham takes him right off the field, put Bennett in for it.
I got you, bro. And even though it's a blowout, it's still entertaining. It's rather than like watching New England play last week. 35-0. You think anyone had balls enough to get to start Aiden against a shitty ass Charger D? I bet you there was somebody that had the balls to do it, and then anticipated 16 points and might end up getting 20-30, just because of the no Herbert, no Keenan Allen, Stick is playing, he's gonna suck, defense sucks, and then just hoping that the Raiders score points, which they are. Unbelievable. And I got a couple close friends that are Chargers fans. Well, they might not be Charger fans after tonight, but at least they have been since they were a kid. Like my buddy Joey. But this has got to be brutal. I mean, he already has heartbreak every year where you think you're going to win 10, 11 games and lose in the first round, or you don't get to the playoffs and you underachieve and you're like 8-9 or 9-8. But then now you get to a point where you're just like, this is the worst that it's going to be in quite a few years, especially if Herbert goes down before the season ends with a month to go. Shitty ass coach. Should have been fired 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Should have never got the job. I knew instantly that he would be slightly better than Lynn, but he's still not a good coach. Remember, he started doing 2-point conversions in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. He thought he was Chip Kelly, right? And I was like, oh, yeah, he's not it. Yeah, this guy's an idiot. He was doing that shit against the Chiefs. Yeah, a long battle with like alcoholism, and when you battle alcohol and it takes over your life and whatnot, and being suspended multiple times, and they're not really using him in AEW, him or Matt, and whatnot. But I mean, at some point, you got to understand that maybe instead of being a wrestler, maybe being a manager or, having a different role in the wrestling company, and whatnot. So. I mean, anyone that's battled addiction, regardless of what it is with drinking or other things, party stuff, it's really hard to get out of that, especially if it's in front of you or you're around people that are doing it. It's very easy to get caught up, depending on who you hang around. I mean, I've been there, so. And now it's like I'm trying to stay away from those people. I don't drink anymore. I'm exercising 2 hours a day with my dog. I don't eat fast food anymore. I'm not drinking soda anymore. I've definitely tried to change my life for the better. Now, am I willing to go eat fast food? You bet your ass I am. Can I go have a beer and go have some Blue Moons on tap with the orange peel? Fuck yeah. But it just, I don't got the money to do it. And, I don't need it, But I will be going to the Blazers versus Wembanyama in like 2 weeks. So I'll go to the arcade in downtown Portland. Ground control. It's 2 floors, like a double, building, like a 2-story building of video games, which is awesome. You have stairs to go upstairs and lots of games. We'll get pizza next door from Silver Dollar. They got Voodoo Donut around the corner, and then we can always just hop on and take a lift to go to the game. So we're going to make an afternoon out of it. So it should be pretty fun. ¿Dónde está Santa Claus? All good. Let me know what you guys want to do for photos. And like I said, we're going to be getting into halftime. Devontae Adams hasn't really done a whole lot, but he still has 10 points already, which isn't good for me, but 35-0 in the first half. I mean, for one, it gives you an opportunity to maybe keep the head coach that you have for the Raiders if you want to, depending on how the players respond to him, which I feel they have responded to him very well. And for the Chargers, this is you already had 3 nails in the coffin that he was going to get fired at the end of the year. With a performance as bad as this, they may consider firing him after this game is over. There is a very strong possibility that they either do that or they wait to the end of the year and they already know that, yeah, you're gone. And now the coach knows he's gone, like 100%. He knew that, he probably should have been gone a year ago, whether he's got an ego or not, right? But after a performance like this, he knows 100% you're getting fired either tonight or between now and the end of the year. 100%. It's over. The players don't respect you. They're not putting out any effort. And this is the worst effort I've seen out of a Charger team in probably 10 years. Yeah, I did Pete and I did Hack and I did DK. And once we get into halftime here, I'll go through some more Kraken or Seahawks. You just type in the chat whatever you want and let me know when I got you. And I can do Jaws for you. We can do Mando, Grogu. We can do Star Wars. We can do Marvel. We can do whatever. We got play. I mean, at this point, it's almost going to be like a mental health stream because, it's 35-0. I mean, are the Chargers even going to score? Can you imagine if the Raiders won 70-0? 35 in the first half, 35 in the second half? Grogu and Darth Maul. Good choice.
They've been trying to make up for the points that they didn't put up on the board last week. They get the ball to start the second half. They're in attack mode trying to get to 42. Yeah. I don't think they're thinking about a field goal.
Yeah, but this is, the first year of the ultimate suck, Finley. You know what I mean? Like Tampa went through from 2008 to 2019. I went through 11 or 12 years of no playoffs and no hope whatsoever. The Panthers are kind of in that same boat. We will see if they can get better, but at least you ended up going to a Super Bowl with Jake Delhomme, and then you had one with Cam. So it's not like you've never been, so at least you have gone twice, and the last, 25 years. You didn't get the championship, but at least you got there instead of just never getting there ever. So you have to look at the bright side of it. Panther football hasn't been terrible forever. Steve Smith, Senior, Mushin Muhammad, Jake Delhomme, Julius Peppers, Luke Kuechly. So it's not like you've had dog shit players and dog shit forever. You've had some. This is just the first year of crap because you got the first pick in the draft, and you have a lot of holes on the team. And it shows you when you got a lot of holes in the team and you don't have the right owner, right GM, and right head coach, then everything gets magnified and it's 1,000 times worse. If you have a good owner and a good GM and a good head coach and you suck, you can still have faith that it's going to turn around with the draft picks and the free agents. But when you don't have good guys at the top and then the players suck on top of that, then like you feel like very, very alone, and like it's not going to get better. And I get it. I've been there as a Tampa fan and a Mariner fan and a Blazer fan. I've been there. I don't really have any teams that are consistently good year in and year out besides like the Ducks now. Tampa, no. Seattle, no. Kraken or Mariners. Blazers, no. Like, Ducks are really the only team that I have that is like consistently good now. But when I started watching them as a kid, they were winning one game a year. A lot of these bandwagon Duck fans or these people in Oregon that wear the Duck gear, they couldn't even name 2 players on the team. They just do it because it's Nike and it's popular, or they just are like, fuck the Beavers and they want to wear something Ducks, So Elliot in the building. What's good? All right. Hello? Yeah. Staley? Yeah, he's got to go. Uh-huh. When? Halftime. Yeah, I know. Just do it. End of the game? Okay. All right. Late. All right. And after the game is over, fired. I tried to convince him to do it at halftime, but I guess we have to wait till, somebody's got to coach him out there. If you call this coaching. I mean, literally, you could have had no coach on the sideline and had the same result. That's sad. Like, what has he done? Has he motivated the team? Do they care about him? You know what I mean? Like, you literally could have no coach on the sideline and put up a 0. Hell, I could get more points out of this team than him. What's good, brother? Elliot Evans, the Riz God, in the building. Your boy got all the Riz.
Well, guys, Kenneth Murray has been back on the field during this series.
Staley can't even go to China. This isn't the NBA and going to the Chinese basketball league. He done, bro. No one's hiring him after this. Just like Anthony Lynn. You're done. That should tell you something right there. After you get fired from the Chargers, and if you never get a job ever again, what does that mean? You're not good. At least other coaches get another job. I wouldn't even want Staley to be a part of my organization. Calling plays, offense, defense, special teams, O-line, D-line, positional coach, water boy. I mean, I'd rather have someone else. I mean, there's no job for him. You're done. But there will be someone that will give him a job, as like a coordinator or something like that. He'll get a job somewhere, high school, college, a coordinator on another team that is desperate, but he ain't going to be a head coach ever again. Shit, I wouldn't even let him be a fucking mod on this channel. O'Connell? Touchdown, Raiders. Trey Tucker. Golly, 42 points at halftime. This is like some NFL blitz or like me playing Madden against one of y'all. Golly. Should have got Aiden O'Connell and started him. I don't think anyone saw this coming, though. Aiden O'Connell with 23 at half, almost 24. Can you imagine someone that would have picked up Aiden O'Connell and started him in the fantasy playoffs and you got this? You might as well just give the guy a championship award today if someone would have done that. Like, if you had the balls enough to, like, bench, Sam Howell, Patrick Mahomes, and then all of a sudden you pick up Aiden O'Connell and you're like, Chargers are booty cheeks. I'm going to take a risk. And then all of a sudden you get like 40 out of Aiden O'Connell. Holy shit. Might as well just hand the trophy to that guy. I would. I was like, man, you must have had the ESP stronger than even me. I wonder how many people actually had the balls to start him, or like, and you can't just start him because there's no one left in the league. You actually have to have good quarterbacks and then pick him up and then start him as a risk. And then you get the reward. 42-0. We haven't seen this all year. 40, but you know what? Even though it's 42-0, it's better than last week's game, right? With New England and Pittsburgh being 21-18. No, Aiden can't. Aiden can't because I'm going against Davante Adams in fantasy, so you're fucked. Sorry, bro. You're only going to get, like the 10 to 15 points. You ain't getting that 40-point game. Not against me in the playoffs. I'm going against Davante, so the sports gods already know that, and they ain't happening. They got to distribute it evenly. This ain't that fucking 4-touchdown game to carry you to some championship, because I can't be losing in the fucking first game of the night, and then all of a sudden Davante Adams got a 40 spot, and then I've already lost. I got to at least have a little bit of faith. Now, if I wasn't going against Davante Adams, then Finley, you can get your 40-point total, but you already got 12 points, and Davante hasn't even been targeted. He's got 5 receptions for 73 yards. He got 12. Okay? It's the first half. He still could get 20. I hope not, but we'll see. Just because I'm going against Davante Adams in the playoffs here with Chief will Chief, but I mean, 12 in the first half is excellent. So we'll see if they keep passing the ball and trying to keep going on the jugular, or if they start running the ball to bleed the clock to be a fair sport about it, which could happen. You're already up 42-0. So, you know, do you start putting the backups in? Do you run the football to bleed the clock? You're about to get fired at halftime, bro. You suck. This is the worst performance of coaching I've seen in my life. You literally didn't even have to be on the sideline. They don't like you. They don't respect you. All your players are done. Terrible play caller. You're desperate. Okay. But like I said, you can get points with everyone else. Now, if the fantasy gods wanted to fuck you, then Devontae would be at a 0 right now. And the score would be 42-0. And you're like, how the hell do the Raiders have 42 points and Devontae's got a 0? If they really wanted to fuck you, they could have done that. So that didn't happen. You know, he's been quietly getting catches. And he's still pacing for fucking 25. All right, we can't get greedy here, okay? The first half. You know, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's not going to be 84-0, is it? Could you imagine? 84-0? That would be sweet. 84-0. Oh my God. But basically, you know, based on me seeing games like this, you know, since the 80s, since I've been watching, I would assume that the Raiders are not going to put the foot on the throat. They're not going to put the foot on the gas pedal. They're not going for the KO. You know, they're going to be handing the ball off heavy in the third and fourth quarter to bleed the clock, right? And then that way they can get out of this game with probably, you know, 60, 60 something. I don't think we're going to get to 80, but, you know, another 10 to 20 points for the Raiders, probably. Raiders. And then if the Chargers are lucky, they'll get to 10. But at this point, I don't even know. So I said, imagine being worse than Dennis Allen. Golly. You know, sad thing is that you guys actually might win the NFC South. You're the best team out of the three teams. You're better than the Falcons and the Bucks. Falcons and Bucks are kind of even, sometimes good, sometimes bad. You know, and the Saints are sometimes good, sometimes bad, but they have a better roster than the Falcons and the Bucks overall. You know, we have too many holes. So, yeah. But, I mean, if they get 21, that's 63, right? If they get 2 touchdowns and a couple field goals, that's 20. That would be 62. But, I mean, they don't even need to go for field goals. They're getting all touchdowns. So, all right, let me know what you guys want to do for photos. Obviously, tap in and any type of favorite player, favorite team that you got. All our donos are on Super Chat right now. Nothing on the Cash App yet. But what are we at right now? 83. So 17 to go to hit the goal. So type in the chat. Let me know what you want to see. I'm going to put in some photos. We'll start off with the best coach in the NFL. Give this guy a promotion. He's so good. The only time he'll grace my computer screen. I have never seen a first half worse than this. Literally the worst first half I've ever seen. I got you. Yeah, you do.
Because right now I've never seen a team come out this uninspired. Be careful, let's not pick the Chargers. The worst pick in the history of Thursday Night Football.
Sherman's been watching the show. He's like, oh yeah, maybe they should fire him at halftime. Good point. Let me steal that.
Yeah, let's talk about the positives. The Raiders. Aiden O'Connell's been really decisive tonight. I think that's been the biggest thing
What I love is they scheme the guys open versus zone. Here you go to the play action for Devontae. They're finding the holes, and again, he's getting rid of the ball. He's missing his left tackle. They're chipping the edges. And then this is
17 to go. This guy's so good. You know you guys want him. Best play caller in the NFL. So good, you didn't even know he was on the sideline. That's how good he was. And it's one thing if you're playing like the Chiefs, and this was like the Chiefs from like 3 years ago, and you're down 42-0, but you're playing the Raiders, and the Raiders aren't even a playoff team. They're 5-8, just like you. Except one team looks like they could be like an 8-5 team, and you look like a team that doesn't even have a win yet. Golly, we can't even put Mando and Grogu with the Charger logo. Can't do that. They actually were doing a Star Wars marathon today on like TNT or TBS yesterday too. And I'm almost done with Game of Thrones. I got one season to go. I'm almost done, and then I can start a new show.
And look, Khalil Mack, the last time these two teams met, had 6 sacks in that game. They've been able to stop him today. Rick, take us through it in the State Farm highlight bundle, what you're saying.
Yeah, but you look at it, they really came into this game, and you can tell they had a plan. We're not going to let their best player wreck our game all night. Great job here by Luminar, protection. You know, two couple stats here where they're not, really putting a back.
Anything's better than looking at this or this. He's like, I suck. Or this. Darth Maul, that's an OG.
Crazy, you guys. They scored 42 points. They had 46 in their last 4 games combined. Oh, and by the way, we're only at halftime. As we go to break, a look at the diving grab by Jacoby Myers here. Getting the final second touchdown pass, putting the Raiders up by 21, and they were just getting started. So we'll be back right after this.
Shit. Darth Maul's a better coach than fucking Staley. You're confused, and I don't know why you're confused, because you suck. Worst coach in the NFL for the last couple years, hands down. But this is good at least. And so is this. And so is this. And this.
Football goes by quickly, so cherish every rush, pass, and rush pass turn. With instant withdrawals on FanDuel if you win. Because holiday football won't last forever.
So here we go. There's a good fun fact. The biggest halftime deficit in NFL history is 45-0. Happened in the Patriots-Titans game in 2009 during a surprise October snowstorm. No snowstorm here, right? You know, they just suck. We get Saints and Rams next week, Elliot. That actually will be pretty competitive. We already know the Rams are really not that good, but they play with heart. Sean McVay will always have that team to play. Saints should win the game, but there's a chance the Rams could win. You know, like at least you know that they will try. Buccaneers. We need to get the Buccaneers out of there. No one wants to watch the Buccaneers. We're not terrible, but you know, all the Saints, Falcons, Bucks. I mean, it's just not good. It's not good.
Next week. Yeah, I trust Matthew Stafford as well. But I'm looking at the schedule right there. I play the Giants and then they play the 49ers game. The season, that 49er game now, but it doesn't matter. The 49ers made a check. The 49ers look so good.
So I'm going to do it the Packers. If you look at their schedule, they got that. They finished with the Panthers, the Vikings, and the Bears.
Yeah, the Rams do. They could beat you. You know what I mean? Like I said, the Saints you would think are the better team, but like the Rams are sneaky because they have Sean McVay. And once you have a brilliant head coach, it's a great play caller and a great motivator. You know, even though they're not going to be in the playoffs, they're still going to play hard throughout the season because of their head coach. They actually have one where he's respected and he's good. Well, as long as all the Seahawks players are healthy, you guys could win. Let's be honest. The Eagles haven't really looked that good on defense. If you can put up more than 24 points, you have a chance to win that game. Now, I really think the Seahawks, it's not like the Eagles have been lights out. They've had a first-place schedule. Their defense has gotten exposed. The offense is still pretty good, but at times they sputter. So it's not like right now the Eagles aren't as good, as the Cowboys or the Niners. So they're right there. They're better than the Lions and the Hawks. But if the Lions and Hawks could be like healthy, like if the Lions had a defense and the Hawks could get healthy, both of those teams could beat the Eagles, but it would be tough, but doable. But again, if your players are banged up, then you have no chance. But if you guys can be healthy, then, there is a chance that you could end up getting that dub. Big facts. Just can't have a lot of these like in that Cowboy Seahawk game. Oh, yeah, and take care of this. I guess if you're a Charger fan, your mental health is fucked right now, but, take care of this if you can. Very important. Thanks for the like and share on the Twitter X, which you're starting to do on a regular basis for me, which I appreciate. Let's see how many we have so far on there. So we got 3 shares and 2 likes. So we can get that up to 5 and 5. That would really help. Elliot, Sarah, and then 3 retweets from Sarah, Cyber, and Elliot. So if you have a Twitter account, help your boy out. Raiders have 42 points without Josh Jacobs, and Devontae Adams doesn't even have a touchdown. $17 to go.
Everything seems to be working. Who are these guys?
Halftime 42-0. If you score, we go to Kaylee.
Sunday, you've been shut out. 4 days later, you got 42 points on the board after the first half.
Coaches, that's what we talked about. We've been trying to do all season, but we actually did the first half offense.
That'll be fun. What did you tell your team about?
Yeah. But what scares me about Denver is that they're starting to play like them and Buffalo are going to make the playoffs, and if that happens, even though statistically speaking, this should help me. I hope it does, you know what I mean? But hopefully it's not that one anomaly where it's that one game where they actually play good and don't give up rushing yards. And they don't give up points to the tight end. But I mean, hopefully I can get some points there, but I'm very nervous. I'm a nervous. Well, with the Niners, you had no chance. Let's just be honest. Seahawks had no chance against the Niners in both games, and I think most Seahawks fans knew it. Like, you knew you didn't even have to watch the game. You knew you were going to lose. I mean, that's just, But with the Cowboys, you felt like, okay, and I think with the Eagles, I feel like there's a chance. If I wouldn't say that unless I really felt it, but it's more because the Eagles' defense isn't good rather than what you guys are doing. You know, it's like if you guys can stay healthy and, you know, if Gino's out there and if Kenneth Walker the third's out there, DK and Lockett and JSN, and then the defense can come to play, then they got a chance. You know what I mean? But with the Niners, I mean, right now you could say the Niners are the best team in the NFL. So at least today. All right, we're in the third quarter. Incoming 84-0. I know we're not going to get that, but let's see if my prediction is correct. If they decide to go really run heavy in the second half to bleed the clock, so that way they're not rubbing it in, and that way that they can just get these fans to go home, and you know it's not this 80 or 90 point embarrassment. You know, they're not even going to get there. They probably won't even hit 70. You know, so it'll probably be under 70 points, and I assume that you're going to get, you know, some passes like that, but they will try to focus on running the ball. First down, Davante Adams. And hopefully they don't keep going heavy passing, because then I'm fucked in fantasy if Davante gets a couple touchdowns here in the second half. So hopefully they start running the goddamn ball. Yeah, and it's obviously a trap game for Philly. Yeah, their fan base can be cocky and be like, "Oh, we're going to beat the shit out of them." Okay, well, your defense hasn't really been that good. You can't even beat the Cowboys or the Niners. So you're like, you know, you went to the Super Bowl last year and you're still a good team, but that defense and that linebacking core and secondary is booty cheeks. It's not that good. Wow. First down, Raiders. I mean, if the Lions had a better defense and the Hawks were healthy, I upset alert against the Eagles could happen. But again, like a lot of things have to line up, because Philly still has enough talent to be able to squeak out wins. When you got Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert back from the forearm, one of the best offensive lines. Defensive line hasn't really done their job this year, but they still have names. You got Hassan Reddick, big play Slay. They got guys, but it's just the defense isn't that good. Check down? Nope. And complete. Charger fans are already used to this, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they already know every year it's going to be disappointment. It's not like this is something brand new, but they score being 42-0 against, and you're playing the Raiders. You're not playing the Cowboys. You're not playing, the Niners, but that's what it probably feels like. I mean, hell, you're not even playing an 8-5 team. Both of you guys are 5-8. Except one team looks like an 8-5 team or better, and the other looks like they haven't won a game at all this year. But that's what happens when you don't got Herbert and Keenan Allen. It makes a big difference. Pass incomplete. Diggs and Adams and Reek, yeah. Secondary hasn't been as good this year as they were last year. And some injuries on the D-line haven't helped either, and injuries to Gino, and Kenneth Walker. It hasn't been pretty. It's been tough, and the schedule, makers didn't really do you guys any favors with 2 Niner games, a Cowboy, and an Eagle game all within 1 month. Like, who the hell does that? Thanks a lot, schedule makers. I mean, even if that was me, I would be pissed too. But sometimes you got to play the best to beat, to be the best, you have to beat the best, right? So sometimes you got to have that tough schedule and see if you can come out somewhat unscathed and at least try to get a win, at least a win out of those 4 teams. Yama, 1-0, Kraken, nice. Yes, I agree. The Nwosu injury was very, very bad, But again, filling in more holes on defense for the next 5 years will be very critical for the success moving forward. Flag on the play. Face mask. 15-yard penalty. First down. Raiders. Hopefully we can get another win. Kraken can get on a 2-game win streak.
So that Jacobs tonight.
Khalil Mack thinking about retirement. He was going to retire after that debacle against the Jags and decided to come back and is having a career year. Now he's contemplating retiring again. You could just see his face on the sideline. He's like, I came back for this? Well, what did you think? You had Staley at head coach, you dummy. I mean, if you want to be able to have good stats, that's fine. But you know this shit is going off the rails, you know? Sad, too. Like, if you have Joey Bosa, Derwin James, Asante Samuel Jr., and Khalil Mack, 4 guys that never can be on the field together at the same time. And if they do, you still can't win. You know, so it shows you got to have more than 4. You really got to have good role players filling in, too. You got to have 8 good players on offense and defense or better, or you're not going to hang with some of these other teams. 4 out of 11 don't cut it, even if the 4 is really good. 4 guys injury prone like a motherfucker. O'Connell. Antonio Pierce is doing a good job. Devontae Adams not even in the end zone yet, and he's got 15. Fuck my life. But if they decided to give Antonio Pierce the job, I don't have a problem with that. I think that they've responded to him great. And, you know, what are you going to do? Fire him and bring in John Gruden and fuck everything up? Like, I figure, like, you know, you going with Antonio Pierce next year, I don't have a problem with that. You know, if they wanted to do that, who knows if they will. But there's the touchdown by Devontae Adams. Fuck! Chief with a touchdown. Fuck! Well, there it is. Well, hopefully it's not a multiple touchdown game. God damn it. 48-0. How many points is he at now? God damn it. 22.4. Fuck! There you go, Finley. You got your goddamn points. You whined enough to the sports gods where you got your goddamn touchdown. Fuck. You got your points. Extra point is up. And it's good. 49-0. All right, Devontae, I see you. Damn it. Say, I don't even have Justin Jefferson and Keenan Allen to respond with. Shitty matchup with Mike Evans, and then hopefully Amon-Ra with a shitty matchup that he can match this point total. Fucking playoffs. I always get screwed every fucking year, man. Every year.
It's your journey on every mile of the Hyundai Getaway sales event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or $2,500 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway sales event. The Subway Series.
The perfect menu lineup. Just give us a number, we got the rest.
Number 3.
The lobster.
6.
The boss.
15.
Titan turkey.
Number 1.
Yeah, I know. I want you to get your points, Finley. I'm not playing against you. You know, you're playing against some rando, so get your points. But essentially, if I'm going against that same guy, I can't have that. You know, I'm trying to win. You know what I'm saying? It's different for me because usually I get first place every year, you know, in the regular season. So I'm usually 13-1, 12-2, 11-3 every single year. Typically score the most points, make the most moves, give up the least amount of points or second to least amount of points. I'm not used to not making the playoffs. I make it every year, you know, so I have a different standard I hold myself to. Just sucks, man. You know, every year when you have these red matchups and you're like, fuck, man, all I need to do is just score, you know, and have my good players. I'm able to use them, but I guess it's just same thing, a different year. Preston in the building. What's good? Now he's projected for fucking 142. God damn it.
Now the strip in Vegas on this Thursday night. Raiders enjoying every second of it. Chargers get the ball. Davis to the 22-yard line. We go to Kaylee.
Well, guys, we were surprised when we showed up to Raiders practice yesterday and Devontae Adams was nowhere to be found. He told me it was because he couldn't get out of bed yesterday until about 6 p.m. And anybody who's got kids can relate to how this story unfolded. He said his two daughters, who were both under 4, just got over having the flu, and it hit him next. He said it took IVs, vitamin titration, all of it to get him back on the field tonight. But you would never know how bad he said he was feeling yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, we may take some of that stuff too.
Lawrence hasn't had a good year. Mahomes hasn't had a good year. Oh, there we go. The 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown, Chargers. Golly, finally. Oh, there goes the shutout, but at least we're getting points now. Joshua Palmer.
The corner right here, and see 5 motioning out. I think that creates a little bit of confusion. Motioning to the inside, you see Robertson, you see look into the inside, wondering if safety support might be. And for the first time all night, the Chargers are able to make a big play offensively.
All right, Palmer. Way to get your team on the board. Stick, nice throw. Extra point is up, and it's good.
So the Raiders, of course, the monster was from out. They told them, here's just with it. What's it been like since 2003 season? They went to the Super Bowl after the 02 season, lost to Tampa Bay.
Oh, nice. Congratulations. That's awesome, man. Anytime you can go to a college football game, it's always fun. Hell yeah. James Madison in Air Force. Go Air Force. My dad was in the Air Force. So I know a lot of us that are in the room, either have been in the military or had a family member in the military. Yeah, but my dad ended up being a teacher for 40 plus years on the high school level, but was in the Air Force. So that's the only military that we got. So too bad Army, Navy, and Air Force couldn't be better at football with recruiting and everything else that they got going on. But every once in a while, one of those teams ends up being like a little bit better than people think, like maybe one of those teams hits like 7 wins and you're like, whoa, what's going on here? But obviously we know Army, Navy, Air Force, a lot of those are, I mean, like if, could you imagine if the Marines actually had their own team? Then the other team would probably end up injured. A bunch of Marines out there trying to break bones on every play. The games wouldn't even be able to finish. There'd be too many injured bodies. And I guarantee there's some fucking athletes on the Marines too. 49-7 Raiders. Lamar, Allen, and Tua. Purdy, Hurts, Dak. Nice. Yeah, Marines team would be fucking nuts, dude. They'd be clotheslining people, elbow dropping. It'd be like NFL blitz. They'd be like taking their helmet off, taking the other helmet off, choke holding guys. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Putting people to sleep, breaking arms. They'd be having like night vision goggles underneath their face mask. Oh man, it'd be sweet. I mean, if you want to get ratings, that's what you do.
great teams here. It's remarkable to think that that's how they, in 20 years, 2 playoff records.
No question. In the 90s, one that could introduce Fred Biletnikoff. This Chapman, the great wide receiver before the game went on.
49-7 Raiders. I mean, that would be entertainment, though. But, like, if you were going to do a Marines thing, it would have to be like XFL or something, like in one of those leagues. Like, you know, they have, like, the Marines versus whoever.
How long do you think it took Lester Hayes to clean up that game? That stuff was not easy to
3rd down and 4.
3rd down and 4.
Khalil Mack saying, golly, I should have retired. What am I doing? Like, what did you think was going to happen? That you were going to make the playoffs this year with Staley? It shows you can have talent, but if you have the right guy managing you, you get great results. But if you have the wrong guy, talent won't get you there. You have to be able to be mentored correctly. You know, you have to have a good owner, a good GM, a good head coach, a good play caller. You can literally have average players, but then have a great owner, a great GM, a great head coach, and a great play caller, and all your players are average on offense and defense and special teams, and you can still make the playoffs because of what's above you. But if you have garbage owner, garbage GM, garbage head coach, garbage play callers, and really good players, you know, sprinkled all around the team, you ain't doing shit. Oh, big tackle. Oh, in the Korean War. Nice. Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't really had a whole lot like, you know, like grandma, grandpa situation and whatnot. Like on my mom's side, her mom, you know, passed. And then my grandpa on my mom's side passed away when my mom was a kid. So I never met him. And then on my dad's side, my dad's mom passed away already. And my dad's dad left him when he was a kid. And so he didn't really have a dad. And so he was there for me, you know, and he could have, you know, left when him and my mom, you know, were probably wanting to, you know, separate and whatnot, you know, and my dad could have left when I was like 1 or 2, but he stayed until I was like 13. So that way I would understand and, you know, have that father figure when he could have easily left when I was like 1 or 2 and whatnot. So that's why I'm, you know, I got a good bond with him. But yeah, I haven't, you know, I'm an only child. I have a step sister and whatnot, but you know, I don't have a big, you know, family. You know, it's pretty small compared to most people that I talk to. So, oh wow, 112 years. Oh, that's super dope. Yeah, it's tough. And then even like with my aunts and my uncles and stuff, like my uncle passed away a few years ago. My aunt is still alive and whatnot. And then obviously there's like Asian relatives in Japan, you know, but a lot of them are like very, very old on that side of the family and whatnot. So family unit, pretty small for your boy O-Dog. Not a whole lot of people that, you know, I've either met or that are, you know, alive, but I'm, you know, I'm trying to keep the legacy alive. Marines running the triple option. No, they would. If Marines were playing, they'd be running spread offense and they'd be clotheslining the shit out of everybody. Inside their pants, they would have like rope and all this other shit. Binocs. Oh, it'd be amazing. All right, 49-7 Raiders. Take care of this. It's important. You only got one. 1st down and 10. Easton stick. Little screen pass. And if you got Eckler in fantasy, you're probably, you feeling like me with the Keenan Allen, but at least Eckler's playing. Keenan Allen's not, So if you had Herbert and Keenan Allen, that's rough. That's hard to come back from. I don't even know how I'm going to come back now. Now I'm projected to lose by 16. That's great. And then I got Jetta and Evans, and I can't even trust either one of those guys. Rough. Shotgun set. Handoff. Trying to bleed the clock. 1-0 Kraken. I'm going to turn that on. As long as my stream doesn't get slowed down from it. That way I can at least watch 2 things at once or 3. Good tackle. All right, I got it on now. All right. I think everything is still going smooth, so I should be able to watch both. Blackhawks versus Kraken. We got this. Well, last time we played them, we lost, right? So we need payback. And we lost on the road to them, I believe. Chargers don't even have any energy to shit talk. They're like, I can't even do it. No, not let's go Blackhawks. Kraken. You got it wrong, Preston.
Have you seen his Priceline deal? Where are we going?
I'm going wherever the extreme wins take me.
Let's go Kraken.
You think the holidays go by quickly? Football goes by quickly. So cherish every rush, pass, and rush pass turn. With instant withdrawals on FanDuel if you win. Football won't last forever. And soon it'll just be March.
Preston's the biggest Kraken fan. Cracking this, cracking that, crack-a-lacking. Decided to switch up on his Dallas Stars and the Dallas Cowboys and the Texas Rangers. Now it's all Seattle teams. He hopped on the Seattle bandwagon, left everything in Texas. Smart man. All the spell cheek. All right, 1-0 Kraken. Less than 6 minutes to go in the first period. I wish the Kraken game was on tomorrow so I could actually do this game tomorrow, but they don't play tomorrow. So it'll probably be Vegas Golden Knights against the Sabres unless we do a basketball game instead. Say, let's go Seahawks, Cracky, Sounders, Mariners. Good old Cracky. All right, let's take a look at the schedule for tomorrow. Short game. Stars play tomorrow against the Senators. And then let's take a look at the NBA. Too bad there's not a college football game on tomorrow. That would be ideal. I would rather do a college football bowl game. Blazers losing to the Jazz. And let's look to tomorrow. Lakers, Spurs. Lakers, Spurs, or Sabres, and the Vegas Golden Knights, or no stream at all. I guess that those are the choices. So, day off, or Sabres and the Vegas Golden Knights, late at 7, or Lakers and Spurs. Those are the choices, I guess. Mavs losing to the T-Wolves. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the Vegas Golden Knights. I would rather do that over the Lakers and Spurs. I don't know. NBA is boring. You know, I wish I loved it, but I just really don't. Like every time I try to do a game, it's like pulling fucking teeth. It sucks. It's like, I don't even know how people watch it. Like, how are you a fan of this? Like, you know, I guess if you're a fan of the NBA and that's all you watch and that's all you know, then fine. But when you're watching baseball, basketball, football, hockey, wrestling, UFC, boxing, like you're watching everything, you can't tell me that the basketball is number one. It's like then you obviously don't know what you're watching because it's terrible, or you're young and you don't know any better. But I mean, basketball in the 80s and 90s was out on a scale of 1 to 10 was an 11. NBA now on a scale of 1 to 10 is like a 4. It's not good. It's a terrible product. I mean, I'd rather watch NHL, MLB, NASCAR. I would rather watch boxing, UFC, wrestling, AEW. I would literally watch anything over the NBA. Probably even college hoops over the NBA. That's how bad it is. It's literally the worst sport on planet Earth. It's terrible. Yeah, I'll do Vegas Golden Knights tomorrow. I mean, if I did the Sabres, obviously with Colorado yesterday, we can do another game. So yeah, NBA stinks. They don't have enough superstars. And if you don't believe me that it stinks, look to see who the All-Stars are going to be this year. It's sickening. There's all a bunch of no-name scrubs that are going to be in the All-Star game this year. That's when you know the NBA is absolute dog shit. When you look at the names, and some of them are famous players, and then some of them are like newer players, but like, you know, they're not like globally known. You know, it's a terrible product that they're putting out there. And at some point, I'm going to have to do streams of the NBA. You know, I got to be able to do something. It's going to either be NBA or college hoops, I guess, unless we do college hoops over the NBA. But I mean, if the Blazers are on, I can do that because that's my team. But if it's anybody else, it's like pulling teeth for me. It's like, golly, this sucks. It's like almost at that point, it's just like it's in the background, and I'd rather just talk about life or mental health or food or, you know, whatever. You know, I'd rather talk about anything than whatever's going on the game. I never thought it would get to that point. Yeah, but keep going down the list on some of the other guys that are going to be voted in. There's a lot of no-name guys that are, you know, they're good, but nobody knows who they are unless you actually watch the NBA on a full-time basis or you actually read. But if you actually go and look at the potential starters and the potential reserves, there's a lot of no-names that are going to be on those rosters this season compared to years past. There's going to be a few names like who? And yeah, they've been good, but I mean, you know, they already fucked up the you know, rookie sophomore game. They already fucked up the 3-point contest. The dunk contest doesn't even have the best dunkers in it. Like everything that they have in All-Star Weekend is a sham. It's absolute dog shit. Like the only thing better, the NBA All-Star festivities, like, you know, you might be better than the Pro Bowl, but that's not saying anything, you know? Like MLB All-Star festivities are the best. Hockey is second. And then NBA is probably third just because the Pro Bowl is dog shit, but NBA is dog shit. You're young though, Finley. You never watched it in the 80s and 90s. It's not a good product. I watch everything. Basketball, baseball, football. I watch everything. And if the overall product was good, they'd be getting better ratings and things would be better. The NBA is not as good as it used to be. You don't have the same type of players, the same type of effort. You got a bunch of whiny bitches that complain, you know, and you got people punching each other. You know, like the overall league is in shambles. It's not a good product. You know, even Giannis isn't must-see TV anymore, you know, or the Joker. You know, Luka's good, but you don't get a lot of people outside of Maverick fans that are, oh my God, I have to watch Luka's matchup. It's not like he's Jordan, you know, or Kobe, you know. Like Maverick fans love him, but like outside of Maverick fans, unless you're like a Luka, like, you know, super fan, like there's not people that are going out of their way to watch every fucking game, you know. It's it's just the truth. It's the reality. And anyone that disagrees, you know, you're typically young. You know, you're 25 years or younger. Prove me wrong. Anyone that wants to argue with me and saying the NBA is great, that means that you're 25 years or younger and you don't know because you haven't been alive. You've only been alive for fucking 25 years. You've been watching the NBA for fucking what, 10, 15? It's not what it was in the 80s and the 90s or even early 2000s. It's not the same product. No Kobe, no Shaq, no Iverson, no Jordan, no Drexler, no Bird, no Magic, no Robinson, no Ewing, no Chris Mullin, no Karl Malone, no John Stockton, no Charles Barkley. Come on, man. You're gonna step up. You're gonna step up to that level. Give me people. You know, like the Joker isn't must-see TV. He's good, you know, but it's not the same. You know, it's like Luka is legit, right? LeBron and KD are getting old, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, what? You got Luka, you got Giannis. Okay, who else? Right? Luka and Giannis. You know, obviously the Joker is boring to watch. He just gets rebounds and he gets triple doubles, but he's not a fun player to watch game in and game out. He puts up stats, but he's not like a, you know, Kevin Garnett where he's going to throw down a monster dunk here and there. You know what I'm saying? And then the rookie classes that have come in the last couple years, how have they been? Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like, do we have another Kobe Bryant in the league? You know? Yeah. But I'm just saying, if you go back and you look at the stuff that was going on in the 80s and 90s compared to what is going on now, you'd be like, God, this sucks. It's not, you know, it's not competitive. You know, and there's more top 50 players that have played all time in the 80s and 90s than there are now. You know what I mean? Like Giannis and Luka wouldn't be as dominant if they played in the 80s and 90s. They're good, right? But if they were going against the guys that I grew up watching, they'd get their ass kicked. And, you know, Giannis wouldn't be scoring 40 a game. You know, he would still be a good player. But, you know, you put him against Karl Malone and Barkley and some of these other tougher guys, he'd get humbled real quick. You know, and he's probably the best superstar now. But, you know, he wouldn't be the best player in the NBA when I was watching. Not even close. You might be like the 5th best, you know, 6th best, 7th, but you ain't first. So Luka is amazing. But even if Luka was playing back when I was watching when I was a kid, same thing. He would be like the 7th, 8th, 9th best player. He wouldn't be first or second. You know, there were just better players back then. Oh, Dirk was amazing. Dirk was really good. But still, if Dirk was playing back in the 80s and 90s, he wouldn't be the best in the NBA. He'd be like the 12th best player. He'd still be like an all-star, but there's a difference. You know, Jordan and Magic and Bird, and we actually had centers that actually could fucking play. You know, it's like the league has changed, man. Everyone shoots threes. No one plays defense. Everyone's a pussy, and they always fucking take time off. You know, they're like, oh, I injured a fingernail. I'm out for 4 games. I mean, that's a type of bullshit. Like, they wonder why the fan bases are going down the shitter and people are going to NASCAR and fucking NHL and soccer and wrestling because they don't want to watch a shitty product. You know, anyone that's older than 25 that watches games on a regular basis, I mean, it depends on if you're a fan of like the Milwaukee Bucks. If you're a fan of the Milwaukee Bucks and you live in fucking Milwaukee, yeah, it's easy. You got Dame and Giannis and fucking Middleton. Easy. But if you're not a fan of like the Celtics, you know, or the Bucks or something of that nature, I mean, good luck. I mean, that shit is going to be a long fucking year for you. Just saying. I mean, I love my Blazers and I'll go to games. I'm going to go see Wemby in 2 weeks, but it's just watching it on TV is like, it's tough. 2-0 Kraken. Let's go. But anyone that's been alive, you know, that's, you know, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, they'll agree because they know what the league was like in the 80s and 90s. At one point, the NBA was number 1. You know, how did it go from number 1 all the way to being last? I would rather watch TV than to watch them. You know, like just TV programs than watch NBA. That's bad. When it used to be like, oh, I can't wait to see the Bulls play, or I can't wait to see, Shaq and Kobe play. Oh, Drexler, oh, Bird, Magic. It's like even when you had rival teams that you hated, you wanted to watch them because you knew you were watching something special. NBA is a terrible, 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 terrible product. You couldn't even pay me to do it. I mean, honestly. I mean, when I go to games, I usually go for free. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you'd be better off paying money to buy jerseys and hoodies than to actual go to the game. And like I said, going to the game is better than watching it on TV. That's one thing I'll give you. Going to an NBA game in person is 1,000 times better than watching it on TV. TV is fucking unwatchable. Oh, big hit. 12 New York dominant down full sack lunch. Picking up the fumble. Rumbling in the bubbling. The 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown. Raiders. You tell me what kind of excitement you get on the NBA that's like that. You get a chubby guy that can pick up a football and run it in for a touchdown. You can't. You can't. I mean, I wish it wasn't that bad, but I got to let people know that are younger that you're wasting your time if you're watching. You're going to, like you could be watching something educational. You could be watching Discovery, History. You could be watching Nat Geo, watching some fucking animals. You could be like, hell, and I don't even like TikTok, but you would probably have a better time watching fake videos on TikTok and YouTube of fake pranks and people dancing around like a bunch of fucking idiots than to sit through a fucking NBA game. And I don't like that shit, and you're probably going to be more productive watching shit like that I don't like than watching an NBA game. That's how bad it is. And I would never condone people wasting time watching fake prank videos that they think are real, right? Or annoying YouTubers that just scream and yell and they're just annoying, right? But they're popular, right? Or watching people dance around, I guess if you want to waste your fucking day doing that, go ahead. But I mean, I wish the NBA was a better product, but I don't see it getting any better. I think it's going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. Like I said, there's so many things. Like it's gotten so bad that even college hoops, which is bad too, might be getting to a point that that's going to be better than the NBA. And honestly, if you look at March Madness for the men's and the women's March Madness is better than the NBA. Think about that for a second. Women's March Madness, which never used to be better than the NBA, is now better than the NBA. Because you got some players that are actually ballers that can actually play. I mean, I spent more time watching the women's fucking tourney last year than the men's. Walk your dog. Listen to music. I mean, I wish it was better, but again, anyone that loves the NBA, right, and they tell me on the channel, I already know you're 25 and younger. There's not one person that's going to be, I love the NBA. Yeah, how old are you? Oh, you're 16? Oh, you're 18? Oh, you're 25? It's like, oh, I love the NBA. Okay. Oh, you love the NBA. How old are you? Oh, you're 50? Okay, who's your favorite team? Milwaukee? Well, no shit. You're watching fucking Dame and Giannis. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be something like that. You're not going to be a fan of like the Detroit Pistons and 60 years old and telling me that it's the best thing since sliced bread. It's a fucking lie. Facts. I mean, I even for me, it's hard to, do a Blazer game, but when I go in person, it's fun, because like I said, I can go to the team shop. I can hang out with my friend. Maybe I'll drink a beer. Maybe I'll have a killer burger. We go to the arcade before, and so we'll make it an event. And then when I'm in person, I'll chant, and so I'll chest bump, I'll high five, I'll get into it. I make sure I have a good time when I go to basketball games or wrestling events. So, all right, take it easy. I appreciate you. 56-7 Raiders. But that's the shitty thing too, is that we're going to get to a point where football is going to be over. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to have to do the NBA. I'm going to have to do college hoops. There's not going to be anything else on. Unless I just say, fuck it, and I just do NHL, and it don't even matter who's playing. I just do it, which maybe I will. Maybe I'll just say fuck basketball altogether besides March Madness, right? And then I'll just say fuck all that and then just do NHL games. I mean, I'm already kind of on that level right now, so.
He's also 34 years old. Not only is he a big defensive tackle, I wonder how many times in his entire career
56-7 Raiders. Hopefully he got that football and he can take that home and put it at his house. I don't know if he's in that mindset to actually even think of doing that. You know what I mean? But the equipment manager should pick up that football and give that to him and have him take it home and have it on the mantle. You know, that's probably going to be your only touchdown that you ever have in your whole career. What a hit right there. Fucking smacked his ass. Crosby's like, I got you, bro. That's awesome.
He's going through the whole story of what he just did. Put your treadmill at 17 miles an hour to make you appreciate.
All right. Go study, brother. And enjoy that bowl game. That'll be fun. Go Air Force.
Guys, I think everybody in a Raiders uniform or wearing black and silver on the sidelines has made their way over to Jenkins so far.
Before the NBA. Current state of the NBA. When I watched. When everyone else watches now.
Will clap the center. Is now down
Another injury.
in Vegas.
Let me know what you guys want to do for photos. I mean, as long as it's not NBA players. Well, I guess if you want NBA players, I'll put them up. But it's like the younger generation fucked it all up, man. Changed the whole format of everything on the NBA All-Star Weekend. And once they started fucking with that, rookie sophomores or USA International, doing like the 3-on-3 bullshit, and then everything else, dunk contest, three-point contest, skill contest. I mean, the only thing that's good about All-Star Weekend on the NBA now is the actual All-Star game, and even that sometimes is shitty. Yeah, wear the Cowboys hoodie. That's what I would wear. Sunny gray, I got you.
You think I've never been to the playground? Shop Best Buy and experience the magic of giving them.
But I wish the NBA wasn't bad. I wish it was awesome. So then it would give me another thing to do, for like content and whatnot. I wish the NBA was awesome like Barry Sanders, but it ain't going to happen.
Welcome. That's all she talks about. What else y'all do? Like I always say, I want this fun like Carnival.
Thursday Night Football on Prime. It's on.
Fall is on. Next week, our premiere. The Saints take on the Stanford Hornets. Thursday Night Football. Oh, all pro. Tonight on Team United, presented by Austin. Our team kicks off the game with fun. Here we go. Football fix. I feel like I can hit my suit. Yeah, Team United, presented by Austin. After the game.
Well, this agonizing night for the Chargers continues as Will Clapp needs to be assisted off the field. Corey Beasley was their starting center.
Raiders. Electric tonight. I feel bad for all the Charger fans. Ryan, Joey. But like I said, you can still have these like players, and I keep telling the fans, you can have these names like Herbert and Eckler and Keenan Allen, but it doesn't fucking matter if you have horrible coaching. And sometimes intercepted, touchdown, Raiders. Are you kidding me? Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. No way. Raiders. Staley, they should have fired you at halftime, brother. Yo, he knew. He's like, that's a screen pass. I'm going to jump it. And he caught it one-handed. How pretty was that? He almost went too far. He almost jumped the interception too far, but he got his hand on it. Good for him. Extra point is up, and it's good. Raiders and the Dolphins going to put up 70? Wow. Well, at this point, it looks like they will score 70 because there's 14 minutes left. Oh, we're going to talk about the NBA the rest of the stream. And then the next stream, and then the next stream, and then the next stream. No, we're not. It's not even worth my breath. It actually makes me mad that it's so bad. I want to have content to do. I want to be able to enjoy a sport. But luckily, that's the only thing that I don't like. You know, that's the one thing. I like everything else. So I just feel bad for the people that dedicate their lives to watching that on a daily basis. That's tough. I mean, talk about mental health problems. Most in team history, 63 points. Let this guy keep his job. But on the bright side, Finley, at least there's a team that's worse than you, right? Chargers. And the Panthers are young. They're going to get better. NFC South will be good one day. When? I don't know, but we will be good one day. Panthers, Bucks, Falcons, Saints, one day.
Very story for Devontae Adams, Jack Jones, the entire Raiders team. Chargers 5 turnovers and burned after every one of them.
Hey, we might be the laughing stock of the NFL, but no one is going to rep the NFC South harder than me. And it's not just the Bucks. Falcons, Panthers, and Saints will be included. I make sure that, you know, someone's got to rep the NFC South on YouTube. And others might rep a team, but they're not going to rep the conference like me. Facts. But, you know, when we're good, you'll know it. But when we're bad, oh, yeah, I'll be honest about it. You know, we know we're bad. Much better than last week's game with the Patriots and the Steelers. And then we'll do the Sabres, Buffalo Sabres, and Vegas Golden Knights tomorrow. And then we're going to do the Broncos and Lions on Saturday. And we'll still watch UCLA and Boise State at the same time. And then on Sunday, we got Jags and Ravens. That's a good one, right? And then we got Monday, we got the Eagles and Seahawks. Should be pretty good too. So I am not looking forward to football ending. And then I have to just do, I guess this NHL, it might be just NHL. And then college basketball and NBA just sit there in the background. So, but I think we would have more fun. We just got to hope that if I do NHL exclusively, that we can get people to support, because obviously on the college basketball and NBA side, they don't support. So hopefully we get a better hockey support, which I think we will. Man in motion, shotgun set. Spiller with the short gain. Imagine having Eckler too. So if you had Eckler, Herbert, or Keenan Allen and you're in the fantasy playoffs, you're like, fucked. You're like, damn, what do I do? All my production just went away. The Aces. Yeah, at least you got that going. Tyler Glass now. Go Dodgers. They're really loading up. Can't wait to do Dodger games. That'll be a lot of fun. Too bad my dad lives so far away. It would be cool to be able to have him hop on and watch Dodgers together. But, he's kind of getting up there in age, and, he likes to be able to watch it on his laptop or on the TV and whatnot. So that sometimes, with his, significant other, she don't like baseball. So he's got to watch the program on TV with her, and then he's got to sneak, the Dodger game on the laptop next to him. You got to do what you got to do, right? 63-7 Raiders. But hopefully I'll be able to get a used car next year at some point once I get my shit caught up and maybe support gets better. And then that way I'll be able to visit him and I can drive out to him and watch some Dodger games with him. $63-7. Unbelievable. Yeah. Well, I mean, as bad as the NFC South is, we're not this bad. You know what I mean? This is ridiculous. It's like in a lot of the NFC South teams, like Mike Evans, we got Mike Evans and Godwin. So like Keenan Allen, there's some running backs, you know what I mean? But it's like, we don't get embarrassed this bad. Even the Panthers, if they're considered the worst team in football, they haven't looked this bad, So, hey, NFC South might be the worst division in football, but we still love our teams. It ain't like this. We don't have any injury curses. Thank God. You know what I mean? None of the NFC South teams have injury curses or shitty coaching like this. So, like I said, the Chargers are probably the most talented, shittiest team in the NFL in the last 15 years. Like, they have so much talent, but they never can get it done. Pump fake. Stick. Down Chargers. Every first down is worth 7 points. See if they can come back. Oh, any Raiders fans are going to be happy. And my boy Joe is a big Dodger fan and Raider fan. He's a few years older than me. He's not 50, but he's having a good time with this Raider win too. I got a few friends that are Raider fans. Got a few fans that are Charger fans too. I just have to be brutally honest with them. Oh, big hit. God, they hitting out there. Do I dare say it? I would rather watch the NBA game than watch this Charger performance. No, I wouldn't. I'd still rather watch this Chargers team play like this than any NBA game. We're like, what happens if it's 160, 158 in the NBA? Oh, nope. I'd rather watch this. NFL till I die, and college football, and wrestling, and baseball, even NHL. There we go. Little screen pass. First down, Chargers. Eckler, is he even playing? I mean, but Raiders really haven't had anything to cheer about since the Super Bowl against the Bucs in 2002. That was really the last time they were like, oh my God, good. So you got to think Raider fans have been in misery for the last 20 plus years since the last time they played the Bucs, when they had Rich Gannon and, Charlie Gardner and Tim Brown and Jerry Rice and Jerry Porter and Bill Romanowski and Charles Woodson. That was the last time that the Raiders were like, oh my God, good. Look at all these injuries. Rodgers, Richardson, Cousins, Jones, Watson, Burrow, Pickett, Herbert. Boo! It's bad when you wish Kirk Cousins was still playing. It's like the state of the NFL has been so bad with injuries this year. And it just seems like the injuries have hit the quarterback position more this year than years past. Normally, we don't have 8 starting quarterbacks that are good out at this point. Maybe we have 3, but not 8. Floater. Another big hit. How many points for that catch? 10? So it's 63 to 24 now. You know, they get 7 to 10 points for every caught pass or first down. And boom, big hit right there, big pop. Yeah, I don't know, Ed. Not too sure. No one predicted 63 though. Touchdown, Chargers. Alex Erickson. Who? Okay.
Once again, helps it. Whenever it comes over, watch the safety. You get motion here, watch the safety come down, and that changes the coverage. And he has to see that as the ball is being snapped, so it opens up that glance route, that skinny post there for a touchdown. So good job with seeing that after the motion.
Extra point is up, and it's good. There he is. I know everyone had Alex Erickson in fantasy in the playoffs for a big number. 63-14. No, I don't think it's scripted. I just think that you don't have Justin Herbert. You don't have Keenan Allen. You have Easton Stick making one of his first starts. Raiders at home, motivated. Defense for the Chargers is terrible. So it just so happens that they, were able to do anything that they wanted. Kraken 2, Blackhawks 0. Watching that as well. But no, I don't think it's scripted. I do think that, some of the referees cheat. If they have gambling problems, I think they've done that, in college basketball back in the 70s and 80s. That was reported. And I think that, NBA with Donaghy, NFL, MLB, NHL, I definitely think that there are, referees that push the limit and calling something or not calling something, and sometimes that call will determine, the point spread and whatnot. But I don't know if there's actively cheating going on every fucking game. I don't think that, but I think there is cheating going on, it's just whether that these refs get caught doing it. So, but I don't think it's scripted. But I do think there's cheating that's going on, to a certain degree. How much, we don't really truly know, But referees can dictate an outcome of a game, especially if you're like an NBA or college basketball ref, by calling fouls and getting people to go to the line so that way they can get the spread up, to a certain point, calling bullshit fouls. You can't really do that in the NFL as much, I guess, because you would, they would start catching on. Like if every game that you officiate, you're throwing 15 flags, that's a little, in the NBA, you can get away with it with personal fouls. But on the NFL, you start throwing 15 flags every game. Yeah, they're probably going to figure it out. So 63-14 Raiders. And even though it's a blowout, at least we're getting points scored. It's a hell of a lot better than the Patriots and the Steelers. Facts. All right, what do we need to get to the goal? 17 more to get the goal. What are we at? 83? We need $17 to hit the goal. Max Crosby, that's my favorite player on the Raiders. Even though I'm not a Raider fan, but he's my favorite by far. Five more likes to 20. Damn, Devontae Adams with 22.4. I don't like seeing that. And I'm a 1 seed. He's a 4 seed. Now he's projected for 137. I'm projected for 125. Can't use Patrick Mahomes. Can't use Justin Jefferson. Can't use Keenan Allen because he's hurt. Can't use Mark Andrews. Like, how the hell am I supposed to win the championship when I can't even use my top pieces? top quarterback, top receivers, top tight end, either injured or fucking can't use them because they're unreliable. Fuck my life, huh? 2-1 Kraken. That's what I get for having the record that I have. 13-1, 12-2, or 11-3 every year. Most scored in a game, 73 by the Bears in 1940. Someone will break that. 72 from the Washington Redskins, and then Dolphins was 70 this year. Rams was 70. They need a touchdown to tie it. It's possible. Shotgun set. Pump fake. Incomplete. Derwin James. 77 points scored, though, total. That's pretty sweet. You don't see that often. Everyone's like, oh, this game's going to suck like that Patriot Steeler game. Yeah, it kind of does. But, I mean, at least you're getting almost 80 points combined. No one saw that coming. You're actually getting touchdowns, not waiting for the game to end like the Steelers and the fucking Patriots. Handoff. And no Josh Jacobs on top of that. 3-1 Kraken. Let's go, baby. There we go. I'm telling you, after getting off that losing streak, and Joey Decord had that shutout 4-0, first in his NHL career, filling in for Grubauer. Now Seattle is going to go on a win streak. I like it. Maybe we can get to 500 pretty soon. But we're winning this game against Chicago at home. We finally found the right line and the right groove to get things going. I really wish this Kraken game was on tomorrow, but we'll do Vegas Golden Knights versus the Buffalo Sabres tomorrow night. Then we'll do the Broncos and Lions on Saturday, Jags and Ravens on Sunday, and then Eagles and Seahawks on Monday. So we'll have fun, And obviously Vegas Golden Knights will probably end up winning by a shitload. One man to beat. 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown, Chargers, but there's a flag on the play. Holding on the return team. This is like playing Madden on easy with your little brother that's 5 that doesn't even know the buttons. And then all of a sudden you're playing the game and you like unplug the controller and he's just pushing the buttons thinking that something's going on, but he's not even playing. What is this? That would have been cool if that would have counted. Just let him have it. I mean, they're already getting killed. Let them have at least 21 points.
Mercedes-Benz holiday celebrations coming up for the exceptional offers for January 2nd.
It's JCPenney's Super Saturday coupon giveaway. 9 a.m. in-store only. You can get 10.
What's John Madden thinking in heaven right now? Raiders. Boom. So waiting on my check for sack lunch that you stole.
When you're with Amex, you can get closer to what you love. That's the powerful vacuum of American Express.
Yes. I was Justin Jefferson.
Wish I was eating this Caesar's pizza.
How about another slice, Ford?
Thanks, Dad. So tasty.
Rest in peace, big guy. Still waiting on my check from heaven, though. Sack lunch, verbal, audio, in the video games. You didn't make that up. You stole that from me. Still waiting. Raiders. He's like, let me steal sack lunch from O-Dog and not even acknowledge him, put his name in the video game, or pay him. Raiders. Later, brother. Have a good one. Go Ducks.
video. The Sphere, it opens up in September. You have to go. That's a one-off.
Yeah, you told me. I mean, you were there with the first or second night.
Second night. Unbelievable.
The Sphere. Very cool.
Ball at the 45-yard line.
Shotgun set. What was that?
It's just how high it goes.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just the whole thing, the visuals. I mean,
Easton Stick looks like he played junior high, and that's it. Like, what was that? He just threw it right into the turf. It's like that's like what you would assume that what Staley would look like if he lined up at quarterback. Like, what are you doing?
But you said it has to be a band, right? It can't be.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Short game.
It's amazing. Everybody's been there. All kinds of stuff going on. I said, I'm thinking of eyeball and what's here for time to time. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's Vegas, too. Hey,
They're on its own.
Vegas.
just a block and a half.
Lose your money, lose your wife, lose your house, lose your car, lose everything. Vegas. 3rd down and 5. Shotgun set. Stick. First down, Chargers.
The combination of Max Crosby and a lot of the starters.
3-1 Kraken in the second period.
The softer coverage has given Stick a chance to be able to operate a little bit more better with more time. Softer coverage is hitting a lot of these slants and underneath routes.
A game like this, Max.
63-14. Unbelievable. Come on, Stick. Get to at least 21. Shotgun set. Handoff, short gain of about 4 or 5. Crosby, he's the man. That's my favorite.
Because he has to have all his food prepped, and it's hard to do that when he goes on.
Even Darth Vader rocking out with his lightsaber. That's when you know it's a good day. And the black hole. Shotgun set. Handoff. Bouncing it to the outside. There we go. Tiptoeing in my Jordans. First down. Chargers. Move the chains. All right. Less than 5 minutes to go. Crosby. Hall of Famer. Stud. It's like if I was going to buy jerseys for the Raiders, Bo Jackson, Howie Long, Max Crosby. Raiders. Cracking up 3-1 on the Blackhawks at home at Climate Pledge Arena, which is nice. Watching that right now as well. Now they're just trying to bleed the clock. Everyone was like, all right, we need to go drink and eat dinner and get the hell out of here. At least it wasn't 63-0. I mean, I guess it could have been worse, right? It's like 63 points if it's like the, Cowboys or Eagles or Niners or, Ravens or something. But Raiders? I guess. That's what happens when that other team has a shitty defense.
They're really excited about Janaris Robinson, of course, the rookie Tucker Wilson. They think that
4 minutes to go. Longest 4 minutes of my life.
offensive line and pass protection, Fuchs and other ones. You have 3 other guys that I think they feel can win one-on-one.
Shotgun set, little toss. First down, Chargers. Move the chains. I mean, even though it's like a blowout and people are kind of bored, it's a different type of bored than watching the Patriots and Steelers. Like, give me this any day than making me watch New England. You know what I mean? Like Pittsburgh, I mean, if TJ Watt is playing, and I can get some, decent running, out of like Najee and Jalen Warren and, maybe Deontay Johnson and fucking Pickens get some looks or Freiermuth. But I mean, the Steelers aren't really that appealing, but they're more appealing than New England. New England is like terrible. New England's like watching the Giants and Jets, but even worse. Like, I would rather watch the Giants and Jets than watch New England. Like, New England might be the most unwatchable team in the NFL. I mean, can you name a team that you would rather watch, less than New England? I think they got to be number one at the bottom. I mean, if the Cardinals are on or any of the bad teams, the Bears, I still would have more enjoyment watching anybody else. I think New England is like the most unwatchable. I don't give a shit who their quarterback is. They suck. Their defense is awesome, but offense is just horrendous. Broncos and Bills making the playoffs? Kind of feels like it. You had some pizza? I mean, the closest I'm going to get to eating pizza is watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze. But one day, I got to get that round table combination pizza. I am just craving that, man. But again, you have to have money to be able to do things, so. But I'll get Silver Dollar pizza when I go downtown in 2 weeks with my boy Justin when we hit the arcade up, have pizza, and then I get to see Wemby, so that'll be cool. And we got 100-level seats instead of 300-level seats, so I don't have to sneak anywhere. We'll actually be in pretty good seats watching the game, so. NBA on TV, unwatchable. NBA in person, it's actually decent. Not as good, but much better than TV, for sure. And I'll have definitely some rando person talking to me when I'm there. Always, no matter where I go, always some rando that will talk to me. Wrestling event, basketball, baseball, football. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know you, but let's talk. Touchdown, Chargers. He's been a bust.
How about stick there working? He's got motion here with Palmer. You watch him work from his right. He wants to go to 82.
I mean, he was really good at TCU, but hasn't been able to translate it because you're on the Chargers.
And eventually 3 on the backside to that touchdown. Good job.
Direction he has this TD against Detroit early in the season, but had that long game.
Extra point is up, and it's good. There we go. O-Dog wants 21. O-Dog gets 21.
So we come out to the ballpark, and we talk about the fact we would probably see 84 points in the game.
Oh, for sure. I had 10-6. That was my final. I was figuring.
But after last week when we had 51 points in the first half, as we say, can't predict any of this stuff.
No shot.
Well, mantra. Nobody knows anything.
That's why the NFL is the best, because you don't know. It's just week in, week out. You think you know, and you don't know shit. You think you're going to be able to predict, and the complete opposite happens. That's why we love it. That's why so many people lose money on it too. 84 points combined. Get the fuck out of here. I deserve pizza. I mean, shit, I'd be working like every day. Good. I was thinking about picking him up, because I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would feel good starting him over Sam Howell, because they would probably get around the same points, but I don't trust Patrick Mahomes. Joe Flacco is a better option than Patrick Mahomes at this point in fantasy. That's crazy, but it's true.
So funny. Last time I did a game in the stadium was the last game of the 2021 season. When the Raiders and Chargers were meeting, the winner was going to go to the playoffs, unless they wound up in a tie, in which case both teams.
I mean, what are the odds of that?
Well,
I mean, at the beginning of the game, you're thinking, oh, the Steelers, they need a tie. It's never going to.
I swear to you, Chris Collinsworth and I are driving out here, and he says, "What about if there's a tie?" I said, "Get out of here." And in fact, in that game, Rich Versace was the coach, and he was ready to play for the tie, get them both into the playoffs. And Brandon Staley had other ideas, got a little aggressive, and then tossed and kicked the field goal.
Number one.
For the playoffs. Sent them-
Number one offense.
That's one of those. You've called so many big games, Super Bowls, but that's a memorable game because it's just such an unlikely outcome.
And Herbert was phenomenal in that game. 4th down completion to the last drive to no avail. Right after the game, the JCPenney post-game show exclusively on Prime Video. Pete Jackson would say, "Well, you're looking down at that big old hockey puck right there." So we go back to that game, which ended the 23. It was the last top. I know it. Well, they had to do it. Here comes Carr. You know, they're going to run the clock out and everything. The next thing you know, Chargers get overly aggressive. Overtime out the end. Carlson sends the Raiders and the Steelers into the playoffs.
Yeah. No gifts for anybody, though. I mean, you got to have money to be able to buy a gift.
So 2 minutes until the Raiders can celebrate. The Chargers, as you say, the only good news though is
Unless we get blessed. But I don't have too many people I have to get for. It's like, you know, my dad and my stepmom. That could be like a combined one. You know, my mom and then my stepsister. That's it. So, you know, so even though I only have 3 people to get something for, I don't even know if I will be able to. We'll see. Hope so. 4-1 Kraken. Let's go. Good matchups. Yeah, Eagles and Seahawks, Jags and Ravens, Buffalo Bills, baby. Buffalo and Denver, they're starting to peak at the right time, especially Denver. Eight different players score a TD. First team since 1950 Rams. Wow. Well, thank God, because if Davante Adams would have scored 3 or 4 touchdowns, I definitely would have lost. Like, I'm already looking to lose. It's best of 2 weeks, but I'm really going to have to try to pull one rabbit out of the hat and try to, you know, put in some rando names into my lineup and pray that one of them gets like 15 to 25 points to help me win, or at least get decent points. Otherwise, I'm going to be playing in the 3rd place game against Reflector Foe King, and then I might not even win that. Injuries are a motherfucker. But at least I learned my lesson that I'll never pick Patrick Mahomes in the fantasy draft ever again. So at least I learned that lesson. I mean, unless they end up getting like Mike Evans or they get some rookies, you know, Troy Franklin or Rome, and they, you know, and then I can actually trust what they're throwing to other than Kelsey. If that happens, yeah, I'll draft Patrick Mahomes. But if they don't draft any wide receivers or fix the OC problem, then yeah, I'll go for Allen or Jalen Hurts, or, you know, I'll go somewhere else. Lamar, I'll go somewhere else. I'll figure it out. CJ Stroud. Because Richardson went down, that's why. And to be all, and on all honesty, you're a Colts fan, but I think a lot of people globally, they don't give a shit. You know, they don't care about the Colts. I don't know why, but I think just globally and in the U.S., Colts fans are passionate and they've had amazing players, with Peyton and Andrew Luck and Marv. But I feel like the perception of the Colts is like people don't give a shit about them. Like when they're on, no one gets excited. I don't know why, but I enjoy them. I'm not a Colts fan, but I can enjoy, but it's just like this like negative perception around them where like they feel that like people don't care when they're on. And I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, but like Colts fans love them, but outside the Colts fans, like I don't think other NFL fans enjoy watching Indianapolis play football. I don't know why, but you tell me, but I don't know. I don't think they really come off as boring because a lot of times they can score more than 20 points, regardless of who's playing. I don't know why they're so hated on, but maybe that's why, like that biasness against them. The schedule makers don't like them for whatever reason. I don't know. All right, Kraken is up 4-1 with 4:20 to go in the second period. Final score 63-21 Raiders. And I got to eat dinner. I got to go for a walk. And we'll do the Sabres and the Vegas Golden Knights tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you to everyone that donated with Megan and Reflect multiple times back and forth. Padilla and a few others. I appreciate you very, very much. Everyone that is watching on Twitter, X, shout out as well. And everyone that commented, shared, liked, donated, I appreciate you. Shout out to Finley and Sarah and everyone else that's in the room. I appreciate you very, very much. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, Raiders with a blowout. And I'm out. Gang.